Why am I so high? Hello. Hello, Gacha. Hello, Ashton. Hello, Fish. Hello, Purina. How you doing? How are your days? Do let me know if music is okay or not. I never know. Life is hard and the struggle is real when stuff is coming for your life. How is everybody doing? How are your days? Did you have good days? Did you enjoy what you had to do? Did you have to suffer through your job like I did? I swear I am very much done. I actually ended up applying for a new job today and looking up new job opportunities. I am definitely on my last standing legs when it comes to my job, so I'm actually putting the moves in. I am applying for new jobs. I am just so over my job at this point. Thank you, thank you. I've made the decision that it's time for me to start looking. There is honestly no future at my job, but I also hate it to a level that is expected from me. I feel like when I change jobs, it's always when I get to the max of my I cannot take it anymore. At least I'm pretty good at like lasting a few years anywhere I go. Unless I am removed without my will, I usually will take a year or two before I quit a job out of I cannot do this anymore. And my current job is just not the best. It doesn't really have much future, which is I guess a good point of it, where I don't feel too stressed. There's not that much work to do, and like it's not a lot of hours and stuff like that. But honestly, I know where they want me to go. I know what tasks they want me to do, and I'm extremely not interested. I want nothing to do with it. And it's not like it'll get me to like greater heights either. Like even salary wise, it's never gonna be that great because this is like a really, really, really small company that like is funded by the government. And we just lost a bunch of sponsors anyways. So like they don't have the money to give. That's why everything we do is kind of cheap. Oh, Noodle! Noodle, thank you for the raid! Welcome in, Raiders! You brought pasta? I'm always hungry. Welcome in, Noodle! I didn't know you streamed. What is this beautiful surprise? Welcome in, Raiders! I'm Manai. I am a sea turtle. I love to yap, and I have friends. And I like to yap a lot, and that's what I'm gonna be doing today. Welcome in. How was your stream? What did you do? Let me give you a shout out. I know how to do this. I promise. 1 second. I just gotta figure that one out properly, cause I know what I'm doing. I know how to use Twitch. Why does it always say the channel I want to shout out doesn't exist? Stop it. Okay, let's go. Let's freaking go. Thank you for the raid. Hello, Jacob. How you doing? Are you sure you're just a silly turtle? I'm just a silly turtle and I know nothing. I am sure of nothing, but I know that I'm a turtle. That's the one thing that I know. I was just telling people about how much I hate my job, and I actually took the step to apply for a new job today. I'm starting this new journey of applying for new jobs because I'm just sore. I'm just over it. No worries, take your time, Gata. How are you? How was your stream? What's up? What's good? What's new? You guys are awesome. Now I need. Wait. Let me. Do you know Noodle Doodle? Yes, I know Noodle Doodle because she's amazing at that. My messages aren't sending. Wait. They are probably, but they're not on my screen because I wanted to have a pretty chat, so I decided to only have my YouTube one. So I see your chats, but they will not appear on screen. I'm sorry. I know it sounds like discrimination out here, but yes, my life is what it is, and I could not. Let me see. I'm just trying to follow Noodles. How does one just click on this so I don't forget to do it later? And then I do follow. There we go. One more person to raid because there's never anybody I know to raid after my streams. Are you living close to where she does? Absolutely not. I am a Canadian turtle, so I'm not close to many people in the world, you know. How you doing though? Welcome in. And thank you for the follow, Bags of Kittens. You have a very cute name. Hello Ramsix, how you doing? How was your day? How is everybody doing? I wanna hear about your days and stuff. For me, like something tilted me off at work, and then that's when I decided to apply for a new job. So you know, That's how my day was going. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in, welcome to Turtle Society. I appreciate it. Um, I just hate that one part of my job is something that I never really have an answer for. It's always a gray area. So like I hate that I cannot ever be confident in my answers when people call me and ask me questions. I just don't know what's going on. And I'm very annoyed by that. And I've always hated it. And I never wanted to do this. And it has nothing to do with my job. And I don't know why I have this whole thing to do. And then I was assigned a point to talk in our weekly meeting tomorrow in front of everyone. I need to talk about something that I don't even know anything about. And that pissed me off so much that I was like time to actually like up my resume and start looking for another job. It sucks because I've been spoiled in a way, so I'm not really willing to get a job that requires me to be in person too much. Like if it's a 50-50, I can live, but I don't want to be 100% in person. So I will take my time and only apply for the ones that fit the requirements of what I want. So you know. And now I'm here. Oh my god. You're so scary. You just showed up out of nowhere there. I have 2 noodles in my chat. Now I'll have 2 noodle turtles or Kirby's in the on the chat. Like that's pretty exciting. Yeah, you're one of each. You're 1 turtle and 1 Kirby. Look at you being professional out here. I also had a job interview for a new job today as a manager where I will, if I get the job, be the manager over people who have worked in this field for longer than I've lived. See? It's cool, but at the same time, it's a bit scary because sometimes they will not respect you. Like, I had to train people that were way older than me, and they did not respect me much at my job. I was 19 at the time, and then they were like people in their 40s, and they had no care for what I had to say. But you know, I did my best. Oh no, Twitch is broken. Is it? 2 Kairas. There's 2 Kairas indeed. We love them. How much o'clock is it in your country right now? It is 6:09 p.m. In my country. That's where we at, which is the start of the evening. Just chilling, having a great time, yapping away, you know. But hopefully your job interview went well and you get the position. You know, get that dough, get that promotion, get those good roles, good experience, so you can have even better jobs in the future as it goes. You know, that's what we want. I don't know. My personality type is that I do not like not being in my comfort zone. So I stay in jobs that I don't like way longer than I should just because I do not like the idea of starting over. Also, hi, Kuda. I don't remember. Did I say hi? I can't remember. If not, hi again. Or hi for the first time. I don't know. You know what I mean. Just hi, how are you? How was your day? I'm going to be looking, take care of a few things. I stream a long time today. For sure. Please rest well. Have a good evening. And thank you so much for the raid once again. I'm happy to know you stream. I actually didn't know that. So I'm pretty happy. Yeah, I hope so too. Also, so that's why your stream starts so late for me. It's only 6 p.m. for where you... Here, it's in IKEA land. It's midnight. Oh, yes. It's a lot earlier for me than it is for you. I guess we're exactly 6 hours apart. Like, that's something. Every day you learn, you know? Hello, Farina. How you doing? How was your day? How have you been? So happy when I see all the lovely people in the chat. Makes me happy. It's so funny because I was scrolling Twitter as you do, and I saw a post that was interesting where people were talking about how do your streams do when it comes to yapping vs gaming and stuff? Like, do you usually have more people when you're chatting or more when you're gaming and stuff? And I'm like, yeah, no, I absolutely know that most of the time my streams do a lot more, like a lot better if I'm chatting because I get to interact with people and it's always a great time and I like doing that. So like, I'm sure you can tell that I'm doing a lot more chatting these days because I do enjoy it and I feel like it's a lot more interactive and people seem to enjoy it. If you don't, like, I mean, I'd be surprised, but I nothing I can do about it. But I feel like we all enjoy a good yap, a good relaxing thing, like nothing really planned or anything, but we can just yap away, talk about the vegetables we like we were doing like 2 weeks ago. I will just need to like rethink my schedule of things. I will not stop gaming because I like it a lot, but I think I want to like spread what I do throughout the month a bit differently. So I think I will have another plan as of next month. So I'm cooking up some stuff about content. So, you know, I do what I can. I try to edit and, you know, Again, February is productivity month, so I will be giving it my all, you know? Well, they're fun, but some games in my pants just aren't fun to watch for me personally. I agree. Like that's like and it's special because it works both ways. Like some games that like I remember like playing get like not getting over it, but the other one that was about climbing apparently was very fun for people to watch me play, but I didn't enjoy it. And I think it's vice versa, where I like to play some things and most people just don't really care, and I think that's fine. And I think I just need to find like a balance of it. Just make sure that I have variety. I am a variety streamer. Even though I feel like my main thing that I want to do is be a chatting streamer, and I just need to like keep it spicy, keep it interesting as we go through life. I think is what I'm trying to work on out here. On my way home from work, also I have the same problem as you in regards to staying at a job. Yes, high five on that. I would say do it while we're young enough to do it. It's good to do it. Like, it's not like when you're 55, closing into your retirement, that you'll be like, let me leave my career of 10 years to start over. Probably not when we want to do that. I feel like the younger you are, even if you're not super young, if you don't like your job, you can quit. I know it's different than what like older generations have known to do, and like what we were taught, like you find a job and you stick with it, and like you just get your retirement out of it and it's good. But if it does nothing for you and it eats your soul every day, just apply for another job as much as possible. Like you just gotta go there and like find the right spot for you. Personally, I haven't found it yet, but it's fun, You live in New York City or something? No, I live in Canada land. So I'm not American. If you couldn't tell from my English, I am not. So, I'm close to New York though. So, we have the same time zone. I believe I have the same time zone as New York. The boring games can still make for good streams, but then they will become background noise like most fighting games for me. Yeah, if you're not into fighting games, you might like a streamer that does it, but you may not want to watch it. So that's fine, but then a streamer will always be very grateful that you choose to have them as background noise. Even if I'm just a background noise to someone, it means a lot to me that you took the time. So in my head, I'm winning, type of thing. I'm still in school, yeah, and you got this. Just keep going and make sure that as much as possible you know where you're going. I think one thing that can suck as an adult after you're done with school is first when you don't know what you want to do. So like you're just aimlessly going to school, or like just choosing something you want to do and realizing it's not for you, and then you're like, okay, well, I wasted time preparing for this, and then you go for something else and something else. Like I did a lot of that. I took a year off. I did a lot of figuring out stuff, and then I never found the career that I really wanted. And I was never a kid that like was like, when I grow up I want to be this. That never happened for me. I never wanted a job. So I didn't have anything like that, and I never found a career that gives me a passion. So for me, I just needed to find something basic, which is why I'm like, yeah, I can change jobs and have a great time when I start, because better paycheck, let's say, which is the only driving force for me most of the time. But I know that after a certain amount of time, I will burn out of it, because I don't have any care. I don't care for the company. I don't care for their work. I don't care for like what they stand for. I just don't. I go there for my paycheck and I go home. So I do know that even if I change jobs in the next few months, it will take about 1.5 to 2 years before I'm probably exactly where I am today with it. So unless it's a really, really well-paid gig, like a gig and stuff, I will probably feel the same about it, type of thing, When you play video, you're my background noise. Hehehehe. Well, I am happy to hear that, and I accept my role as background noise. I will be screeching in your ear to help you relax after a long day, Same, yeah. But yeah, I just hope that people have good counseling when it comes to school. I feel like I didn't really have much of that when I was in high school, and by the time I finished, I still didn't know what I was doing. And then I just went to school, and I changed programs like 3 times, and I was just failing my classes and everything. it was not a great time because it was just a waste of time, but it was like in my community, my culture, it's not a thing to just not go to school. So my parents were like, you need to do something, and it's like the pressure of figuring out what you're doing, but you're like 17 and dumb. Like, I mean, I was always kind of dumb, so like school was not a thing for me. I just would go to school and fail. So it was like, rough time. I'm happy where I am now that I am able to get any job. I have enough experience and like a really small diploma that opens the door for me to do jobs, but that's about it, you know? I was a kid like that until I was like 13. First, I wanted to be a carpenter. Me too, at some point I did. Because of my grandpa, then I wanted to become a paleontologist, looking for dinosaur bones. I mean, that sounds interesting, to be honest. Like, I feel like you can feel cool about your job when you tell people that that's what you do, you know? But school counseling was so useless for me. Really, did you know what you wanted to become when you got older? Like, did you have a plan, or were you just as aimless as I was when you finished high school? Like, I feel like I wanted to be a carpenter for a really short time because I had like went to like a summer camp thingy, and we helped like build houses and stuff, and I was quite good at it. I'm pretty good at like manual like labor and stuff, and I wanted to do it. My parents were like, nah fam, we did not send you to private school for you to become a carpenter. And I was like, so that dream was like long, it lasted a summer. I still like this type of thing, and I kind of wish that even if I didn't do it as my job, I wish that I studied it so I would know how to do things even around the house and be like, oh, I want to build this, I can build this, or I want to repair this for me or for my parents. Like, I would have been happy to have the knowledge to do it. So it kind of sucks that it didn't work out for me, but who knows, maybe it's not too late. Maybe I'll take it up as a hobby, like to just learn about these things. Did I just hear Facebook? I think I just heard Facebook. Let me look in my thousands of tabs. Okay, yeah, I found it. Look at that. It wasn't that long because I'm a professional. I am very much organized, I swear. Schools are bad. They don't teach you about taxes or adult things. You have to learn them yourselves. They're useless. You know, I don't want to say yes and I don't want to say no, but kind of yeah. I feel like school is not a bad thing. You will learn a lot of things that can be useful and a lot of not useful things. I feel like back in the day, not even in my day, like older generations, they used to have useful classes like cooking, like home economics and stuff like that, so that people could, like, you know, fend for themselves. And I feel like they just stopped. And like in my case, my dad is an accountant, so like even though I don't know everything, and my mom did also study finance, even though she ended up working in it. So my parents were very well versed. So they taught me these things to know how to save, how to have a bank account, how to use credit, how to pay credit, how to have good things. So they taught me everything I know to manage my money properly and be good with it. But like that's because they both also studied it and they were smart about it. But I feel like for people where their parents are really not well versed, if the school is not gonna teach you and your parents don't know, how the hell are you supposed to know how to do things? Like, some people really have no idea how to use a credit card. Like, some people like get a credit, like their parents give them a credit card to spend and they just spend and they think that this is just monies. Like, they don't know that they have to pay it back, and I'm like, that's concerning. Do you not realize that credit is money that you do not actually have? Like, you have to pay that back, and if you don't, then you'll be in trouble the day you try to buy a home in a few years and your credit score is trash, you know? I went to do airplane engineering for a bit, then I did an internship at a web dev studio and decided I'll do graphic design instead, which I didn't follow through on. Yeah, I feel like that's what's up. We're so young when it's time to make the choice that we just discover that we're not into it eventually, and then we feel like we're wasting time and whatnot. It's really difficult to manage all of that. I was told about taxes here in home economics though, like, with every other subject, most people didn't care. Yeah, again, we're young, we don't care. We don't, like, I feel like I didn't have any jobs while in high school. I never worked. I worked quite late. So it's not like I had any money to actually manage. It's not like I had to like make a budget. I didn't have any bills. I didn't have anything to do. So like, why would I cared that much? Like, I would listen to my parents talking about it, so that's why I knew stuff, but it's not like I ever went to my parents asking them how how to manage money. I didn't have any. I didn't care. So it was like, if I wanted money, something, I would have to ask my parents anyways. So yeah, but I can see it. Like, I'm sure that like there's probably like 2-3 students in your classroom that probably were actually listening, that also actually learned something, and like were like, okay, well, I know how to manage. And then 90% of the class was not. They were like, when are we gonna play basketball outside or something, you know? Schools these days teach you about other people, social studies and matters, science, and only one that we might use is math or reading. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to have general knowledge of some of the stuff. Like, I think history is still important. I do believe that geography is important. I don't think you need to know exactly where every country is and whatnot, but I feel like you need to have a basic understanding of the world, where is what, and like, you know, understand why things are the way that they are. And like when it comes to math, like you can have very basic math and do a decent job at most things. Like I don't have high math. I was very dumb and I still don't understand math, but I work in accounting. As long as I input what I see and I invoice what I was asked to invoice, there's a program that's gonna calculate the taxes on this. I have nothing to do with that part of the job, so you know, it's fine. But it's good to have a basic knowledge of it, I would say. And also, they glossed over it in 1 week. We spent 10 weeks on the Industrial Revolution in history. Dang. Oh yeah, that's actually curious. I wonder, like, what different countries teach in history classes. I wonder, like, how far it goes. Because, like, for me, like, I remember learning, like, in middle school about, like, the indigenous people and then the trade and whatnot. But there's some stuff that I know we didn't go deep into, and I know then that in the US there's like they as far as I've heard, they don't go really deep into history or geography. And I'm just like, what do different countries focus on when they're teaching kids history or geography? I'm kind of curious about that. I don't know how to like get a list of these things, but I'm not concerned, curious. Oh, hello gaming, how you doing? How was your day? Did you have a good one? Not like me. I'm just really tired, and I'm not burnt out. I think I'm mentally burnt out on my job. I have no care, so that's why I cannot. If third world propaganda, but about what? Like, what were you? Tell me, Ashley. What were you thought about history when you were a kid? Like, what were they teaching you? You're good. Happy to hear it. What are we talking about right now? We're talking about what schools teach for history and geography in different schools. Like, yeah, I don't know why we're here, but here we are in conversation. Today we're doing AITAs, but like, you know, we gotta yap a little bit before. In high school, when they taught more serious topics, we were taught World War II, Industrial Revolution, systemic racism, both in IKEA land and abroad, and World War I, and we glossed over the Cold War. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I might not have been listening, but I don't think I learned that much about the Cold War back in high school. But I feel like it's pretty similar, like what you just listed here. I think it was the same for me, at least back in my day. That's what we learned in history classes. Like, we had to remember all the dates and like, oh, in 1912 this happened, and in 19 blah 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 this happened. It was a lot of memorizing in history classes. In my case, I only took 1 year of history before I left, though we had a sort of geography history in one class since the 4th grade-ish. Okay, well, I guess you didn't have that much that you could learn through this. But like, how did that go for you? Like, do you remember anything that you were taught in that 1 year? Got some tea. We learned the last 400-ish years of Egyptian history, but only those 400 years. But it's so interesting to have 400 years of history to talk about. Like, I know it must have been boring for Kid You, but I'm like, that sounds interesting. Like, I wish, like, for me, like, Canada is such a young country, and even more Quebec, so like there's not that much history to talk about. I feel like that's very interesting. I would be interested in history, the history of Egypt, to be honest. Memorizing all the amendments. You had to, I guess you had to do that. We didn't have that. I mean, we don't have amendments. What were we? Like, I don't even know the national anthem. I don't even know how, like I know the first like sentence, and then that's about it. I guess that's one thing they would teach American kids. That makes sense. Do they still do that? Do you still have to learn that in school, or they're like, nah, not anymore, or like, because I know everybody knows about the Fifth Amendment, and then I don't know the numbers. I know some of them. I don't know the numbers for them. For reasons. Yeah, but it's interesting. Yeah, we weren't thought about grades, more about what effect they had on today's society. You mean like the years of the events? Like years? Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we have 7,000 years of history to talk about, but we only learned of 400. But I mean, first you were there for only 1 year, but also as a kid, will you remember 7,000 years of history? Like that's a lot for a child. To be fair, we do learn a tiny, tiny, tiny bit about ancient Egyptians' wars and stuff, but a lot of it gets glossed over for the sake of 400s of propaganda. Okay, I will not try and have propaganda on stream, but now I'm curious. Like, you'll have to tell me about like what propaganda? Like, what are they teaching you? What are they telling you? I'm curious now. I kind of want to know. Like, I've never been good at history and stuff like that, but I like hearing about it. I'll probably forget 50% of it by the end of the conversation, but I like hearing about history of countries. Hello, Simply Snowy, how you doing? Hi. Wait, where are we judging? We're about to judge. We haven't started judging. We're doing AITAs today. I love that I just couldn't help myself and started yapping for a while because we can't. But now we were judging the education system, I guess. Talking about what is taught in different countries and stuff like that. But yeah, we haven't moved on to the people asking if they're the a-hole, because I can't help myself. As for earlier years, we were thought like the Viking Age, Stone Age, and Antiquity, so Egypt, Greece, and Rome, our great era of power, Napoleon, Age of Intellect, I have no idea what this is, colonialism, and some of our wars. Actually, that sounds interesting. Like, I'm sure it's not interesting as a student in school, you want nothing to do with it, but like as an adult, I'm super intrigued. Like, if they had like documentary series about it, I would probably watch it. Like, I like to know about stuff, even though I will for sure forget about it very quickly after a little bit, Anyways, I think we should get into the content, because I keep yapping, and then we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. Let me move that over there. And I haven't chosen any stories. I'm just gonna scroll through and we're gonna read them and have a grand old time reading them and being like, oh my god. I never noticed that. Like, on the Reddit it says 34 million potential a-holes, 2.2k online are the judging you right now. See, we're judging. That's what we're doing. The funniest thing about our wars is just that most of them are against Denmark. I didn't know you guys had beef with Denmark. I know nothing about that side of the world, to be perfectly honest. Let me just do a splishy. Sploosh, splishy, sploosh, splish, splish, sploosh. Alright. Let me make sure everything is okay, because we're professionals like that. Alright. We have more wars against each other than France and the UK. Well, that's hard to beat, so I'm guessing you guys were really beefing real hard. Alright. Let's go fish for some good stories and judge people, because that's what we're here for. Alright. I had clicked on this one to size stuff up, but I'm not interested in the title. I'm the asshole for telling my boyfriend I'm not going to wear baggy jeans and boy clothes. What do you mean by boy clothes? Just to protect his feelings. That came out 4 hours ago. Also, the thing is, with AITAs, you have to remember that some people just make up the stories. So I don't know. We'll have to see if this sounds like a realistic story or not. Anyways, let's go into it. So me and my boyfriend have been dating for over a year. We're both 17. And before I met him, I had a very flashy fashion. It wasn't revealing, but I wore very cute clothes inspired by J fashion, including colorful platform boots, knee-length skirts, and just normal length shorts. I never wore crop tops either. I don't have a shape at all. I mean, that's not a reason. Anyways, I'm really skinny and I've never needed to show any skin because that's not my style, but I'm very girly. Okay, I mean, starting off, that sounds like a very normal teenager situation. I would probably be the same if I wasn't that shy. I like the J-pop cute fashion with the real frills and stuff, but like I ain't going out the house like that because I'm not ready for the looks. I'm sorry, I'm not that confident, you know? When I met him, I started changing my style to baggy jeans from whatever and baggy t-shirts. It's really not my style. I feel like a boy when I wear them. I don't judge people who dress like this, but it's just not for me, and I started to really not feel confident in myself. I started realizing that I need to go back to the style I previously had and loved to boost my confidence, but my boyfriend has been discouraging it. Well, my question is, why did you change? Like, did he ask? Or did you just randomly change to things that you don't actually like? Is my question here. I'm a bit confused. And I mean, if there's nothing, I mean, if he's not like, how did you get your boyfriend dressed like you were being yourself, and then he came to you and made you change? Because that's not how things work. That's just not how life is supposed to go, you know? Every time I wear shorts, he always says I'm drawing it. I'm drawing attention to myself, or says they're booty shorts. They're literally not. It's like nothing is showing except my legs, or that I should take them off even if they're not shorts, or and they're just skinny jeans. And then I do and change it to baggy pants to make him comfortable, but then I also make it just feel uncomfortable in the way I look. This happens every time I wear a knee-length skirt, skinny jeans, or normal shorts. My girl can't put skinny jeans on. Like, what are you on about? Oh, hello, Red. How you doing? Welcome in. Like, let's be real. I am not the most out there person. I dress pretty, conservative. I don't like to flaunt everything that I have. I keep that for the house. That's just my personal preference. But if you're telling me you can't wear skinny jeans, I think you're not looking for the right person. If you went for the frilly J-pop fashion girl, you probably have a problem out here if you want her to change like that. I'm not trying to do my hair back into pigtails and wear clothes I love, but he cannot stop saying or insinuating I'm revealing or looking like a I showed him outfits of really nice frilly skirts and nice long sleeve blouse, and he said, so basically you want to dress like a... Okay. I got so upset and told him I'm not going to dress like this for the rest of my life just to protect his feelings. And I'm not dressing like a boy, and I'm going to dress like the way I want. Unless he's into that. Maybe that's the message, and maybe he just needs to come clean to himself. I don't know. He got mad, and I just gave up, and now he's still texting me about not dressing the way I want. I felt bad, so I found an alternative where I just wear not see-through tights under my shorts, and he's still getting mad. I told him I don't care and I want to wear what makes me happy. I'm not sure if this makes me the bad guy or not. Obviously or not. Like, that's one story that I would question if it's even true or if it's for attention, because it's very obviously that. But at the same time, if it's an actual teenager, sometimes they don't think the same. They don't think things through, and they don't think about the fact that this makes no sense whatsoever. For me, it's just like, was he talking to you while wearing your cute little things that you were very happy with, and then he told you to change? Or did you... I guess he was being sneaky about it. I guess he was just making comments that made her change over time, and I guess that's how some manipulative people work. But I don't understand why a guy that's not into girls that are dressing like this, let's say, which is nothing to comment about, why do you even talk to the girl? Like, why do you go after her? Like, I'm sure there's a girl that doesn't wear skinny jeans somewhere that you can talk to, that'll be very into you, okay? Not the bad guy, obviously, and if it's real, it sounds like he wants a girlfriend that's just a guy with girl parts. Honestly, it kind of sounds like that. Like, maybe you need to have a little introspection, talk about things with people, and figure yourself out, because right now it's looking a bit suspicious if you ask me. But yeah, this one, I don't know if it's real. If it's real, then it has to be a real teenager that doesn't know life yet. I guess I'm just too old to be like bothered by this. You know, it's interesting because I was having a conversation with my therapist like last year or something, and it's like, you know, you need to, like, what you do, what you wear, what your partner wears, and how they take care of themselves is their own garden. And you need to be okay with like whatever you do, they do, and what you do, because that's you, and nobody can. That's part of what you have 100% control over. It's your body, the way you dress, the way you, which shampoo you use, and stuff like that. That is for nobody to tell you to do. You can be considerate and make efforts. Like if you know that something specific is not your partner's favorite thing, you can change it if you want, but it's not something you need to actually do. So like, absolutely not. I don't trust the telling of the story, to be honest. Yeah, unless there's like more to the story that hasn't been told, I don't see it, you know? As someone who's in the age group, she's not the asshole, but she's making comments on her body, which is a red flag. She tried to change for him and he still got mad. Yeah. Like, we take it at face value, dude's just weird. But I wouldn't take it at face value. I don't trust teenager when it comes to telling stories. Very, very true. Like, that's why, like, I'm putting X to doubt this story as a whole. But if we do trust it, I agree. And I agree with you, Snowy. Like, I don't like the way she says I had no shape and stuff. I feel like at some point in life, you have to not be delusional and accept that you had no shape. Like, I know that I'm lacking in some areas in my body, but I've come to terms with it. I feel like I'm old enough to be confident in my body. But even though I wish I had this or I had that, and I'm like, yeah, I just need to get into gym to, like, you know, work on my body if I want it. But as a teenager, like, you're gonna be so insecure about everything. So it may have been something that was developed through that relationship as well for her. So who knows? It just feels very ew. We don't like that type of thing, you know? Anyways, for this one, I won't go down into the discussion because it's very obvious what the answer is gonna be. Interesting. AITA for telling my brother he has to buy my half of our inherited home. I'm curious. Well, there's already an answer, but I'm gonna see how I feel about it. My brother, 51, is living in my dad's childhood home. Granted, all of us kids and friends have, but we all paid rent, bills, and property tax. My brother, on the other hand, has not paid a dime to my dad ever. He has lived with my parents his entire life, other than 7 years he was married, and has always been a big spoiled brat. He works and gets paid very well, but my mom still manages his money. Anyway, my parents have recently passed and we both have inherited the house. I refuse to pay for his bills and property tax if he's living there. I have a mortgage and other things of my own. I told him he has to buy my half of the house, and he threw a fit and said that I'm selfish. Why should he give me money for something I got for free? AITA for putting my foot down. I have thoughts and feelings about that one. I don't think you're being the a-hole. I don't know if that's how I would handle things. And I do understand that this is not... Skip this one. No, I will not. It's fine. Don't worry. I know how to manage. I had thought, like, it's not easy when, like, you have siblings that struggle. And again, for legal reasons also, I'm not talking about my own siblings. Like, I'm just talking, like, if it was my situation. There's two ways to see it. I personally would just let them have them to cut the link. Like, I wouldn't want to be tied to them. I would sell it to them for like $100 and like take your thing and then figure yourself out. Like it's yours. Pay the bills, pay the property tax, do all the things. It's your problem, and I will not come and get you out of the hole. Personally, that's how I would do, because you already know that this person will make your life hell for choosing to make them pay a regular amount for the house. If I'm already settled, I have my own house, I have my own money, I have my own life going on, this house doesn't do much for me, and hopefully the parents left other things other than the house to the kids, I would just let them have him. I'm not someone that would be willing to like, you know, continue like having a fit with someone that cannot be reasoned with. It just doesn't work. Like, you're just gonna waste your energy And like, what are you gonna do? Send a lawyer? Because they will let it like escalate to that degree. They will not calm down because you put your foot down. So I personally would not want to deal with all of that, you know? Do these 50 gonna act like this man child? Also, the OP is it the a-hole? Yeah, definitely not. But I would not want to work through all that pain, because that, like, from the description we got, this is indeed a man child that cannot figure himself out, cannot pay his own bill if mommy's not there, cannot do anything, and then he doesn't see the reality. I know that I would struggle, but I think for my personal peace of mind, especially if I didn't have any like financial problems, I would just let it go. That's how I would just let it go. Sell below market value just to not argue with the brother, if nothing else. Yeah, just do not have your name on this house and have problems and like have people come to you to pay for the taxes and all the stuff that comes to it. Let him figure himself out and just get out of the situation as much as you can, you know? Problem with trying to get into a legal battle is that possession is 9/10 of the law. I don't know what that actually means. I don't know the law like that. Like, that's the thing too. I would not want to get into a legal battle. I would be like, I would ask him for an amount that can come out of his paycheck. Like, give me $500. We sign the papers. I'll go like treat myself to something with my family and call it a day. And then you figure it out. You do all the paperwork. You get the lawyers. You got everything. It's your house. You want to take care of it. Just do it. It means that 9 times out of 10 he wins because he's living there. Exactly. Well, that's the thing. I would not try to get that house back. Like, that house to me does not exist. The house is lost. The house is not worth my peace of mind. I'm letting it go no matter what. And like, I would try to get $500 out of it for it, but if not, I would gift it to him. I don't care. I would say, I declare that this house is his and I have nothing to do with it. Do all the paperwork. I would not want to have anything personally tied to this person, because honestly, it might be a brother, but it is some siblings are just not it. Some siblings are just not worth your time, as much as it sucks. And I'm someone that really cares about family, but there is a limit to everything. And seeing that he's 51 living this way, I don't think he's about to change his ways all of a sudden, just become a new person and be like, oh, let me become a reasonable human being for a second. Like, this is not happening. So take the house, leave me alone is what I would do. Jumo. Not sure it's gonna get you the star. All right, let's see. Oh, I like the sister-in-laws, mothers-in-laws stories. Let's see how that one goes. It sucks that we have the answers there. I guess I need to go into new stories. I don't want to know the answer before. Throwaway account. My 29 male wife, 27 female, and her sister, 30F, got pregnant around the same time. Okay, family babies. The babies are the first of a new generation on their side of the family, so everyone was excited. Sister-in-law was further along, but my wife ended up giving birth on week 32, plus she had some complications that had her hospitalized. I can't read. My nephew was born 2 weeks later at full term. Apparently, sister-in-law was resenting having her thunder stolen. I swear, these type of people. And felt like she and her new baby weren't getting enough attention. She keeps making these comments like she's trying to one-up us. First, she was saying how sorry she was that my wife missed the golden hour because they had to take our son to the NICU. This upset my wife since during her hospitalization, she was often too sick to visit the NICU, and she's already feeling crappy about missing skin to skin on those first few weeks. Like, selfish people are such an interesting breed of people to observe. I really don't want them in my life, but I kind of like reading stories about them because it's like, oh, a selfish person in the wild. That's crazy. Like, I've never seen that before. Like, I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that in my life, but I cannot believe that people like that actually exist. It's like, really? Really, that's what you do in your free time? Is that how you choose to live your life type of thing? self-centered to a nauseating point. Yeah, it's just like ew. And anybody that sees this can tell. Like, you're just very ew, and we want nothing to do with you. My God. Oh, you had a traumatic experience? How dare! I was supposed to get my thunder! Like, well, how dare you! I cannot. After we started to bring our son to family gatherings, sister-in-law started comparing the boys, saying how much bigger and more alert her son looks like compared to ours and how he hit more milestones. Do you realize he was born too early? And, like, who are you to be that trash? Who are you to say trash like that to another person, another mother? Like, what do you mean? I don't understand how some people can be this selfish. They sound like bad parody movie villain. Yeah, that's why I say it's interesting to observe them, because you know that it makes absolutely no sense, but in their mind, they're right. They really think that they did the thing and like it's normal. Everybody should be concerned about their things and not anybody else in this world. And it's like, what? Last weekend we had lunch at my in-laws. My wife and I were excited to tell everyone that our son laughed for the first time earlier that day. He's 5.5 months old, 3.5. What? 3.5 month old, I guess. Mother-in-law and father-in-law were having a good time watching the video when sister-in-law made another comment about how her son did that a month ago. I don't know why that was the last straw, but I just about had it. I told sister-in-law that she's pathetic for trying to one-up a freaking baby. Tell her she trash. That her full-term son wasn't special for being more developed than a preemie. That she should get the F over not giving birth to the first grandbaby. Yeah, that's exactly what I would have wanted to tell her if that was the case. Like, what do you mean? Imagine being upset about a sibling having a kid with you. Like, what do you mean? Around the same time, yeah, like, I guess what you're trying to say. I'd be so happy thinking about two kids growing up together, the bond unbreakable. Exactly, like they're cousins that get to be around each other, grow up together, like do the same things, maybe go to the same school one day. So many cool things, but nah, we're gonna be trash because I wanted to give birth first. Like, my God. Hello, Philip, how you doing? It would be amazing to have kids at the same time as your sibling. I wish, like, that would be one of my dreams. I don't know if it's possible for me, but if I kind of have my kids have cousins around the same age, I would be so happy. Just being pregnant at the same time as my sister sounds like such a cool time. Like, going through it all together for the first time and, like, deciding stuff, going on our walks, being like, we would have our maternal leave together. It would be so perfect, you know, but life is not that easy. Needless to say, this ruined lunch and my wife's family is pissed. I admit I was harsh with my words and tone, and this was the first time I comforted her family like this. Up until now, we'd each handle our own relatives, but these comments upset my wife and pissed me off. So I'm gonna yes, no, you're not. It's not about thinking your lane. Your wife is your lane. Your wife is your family, and your family is your business. And even if her family is being trash, it is your business to take care of it. And vice versa, she should be the one defending you if your family is treating like trash. That's what it means to become one, and you are your own unit. You may have your own separate families, but if someone comes for any of you, you both have the right to defend yourself. And sister-in-law she's just trash. There's nothing you can do about this. Like, she's trash and she needed to hear it. I don't think it's gonna do anything because she sounds like she's just trash. So there's no hope, there's no help for her. But you did what you had to do in that situation is what I would tell them, you know? I wish I had a cousin the same age as me. My youngest older cousin is 5 years older than me. Yeah, it is something. Like, I had cousins around the same age, like a year. Like, we're like the same age, but like a few months apart. Like, I'm born in March, then I did one in August and one in November. So we're about the same age, but we also didn't live that close, so we didn't spend that much time. But like, you know, when I was talking about going to my cousins for the summer and like going to their pool and whatnot, those were the cousins I grew up with and I had a great time. And those are the only one around my age group. Everyone else is like over 10 years older than me, so they don't even know how to write my name. They always write it differently anytime they write it, so I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. Oh, hello, Gohan, it has been a while indeed. How you doing? But yeah, man, you did what you had to do. Good man, good husband. Good work there. Let me see if I can reorder stuff. I don't know how to. Let's start by new, because I don't want to have the answer in there. I don't know if I want a dog story. Let's see. Am I the asshole for not providing a room for my boyfriend's daughter? Interesting. We'll have to see. Nar? What? What does that mean? Hello, Karen. How you doing? How was your day? AI the asshole. I'm currently in the process of looking for my own home. My boyfriend is upset I'm not getting a house that would allow his daughter to have her own room. Okay. He is not contributing to the down payment. Okay. We have 2 boys together. And I have a son. Okay, so 2 and 1 and then 17 from a previous relationship. His daughter moved across the country and he currently gets her twice a year. A week for a major holiday and 4 weeks over the summer. My boyfriend, before moving with me 2 years ago, has always lived with his mom. Am I hearing that a man that lives with his mom and has a daughter that he sees twice a year is complaining about the house that you're buying? You know, maybe I'm not reading properly, okay? During his daughter's visits, when he lived with his mom, she would sleep on the couch. Before she moved out of state, he would get her every other weekend and never had an issue with her sleeping on the couch or not having a room at his mom's house. Since moving with me, she also sleeps on the couch here on the nights she's here, as she also goes and spends nights at her grandparents' house. For context, over the past 2 years, it has been difficult to get my boyfriend to contribute to household bills, with me having to ask for money repeatedly. Also, I'm the only one putting money down for this home. So am I the asshole for not providing a room for his daughter as well? No, you're not. This is a bit difficult, but I also don't understand how this man is not contributing to the bills. Like, because it's not even that he has a daughter that he sees twice a year. If this situation is worked out, it's worked out. But you have 2 young children together. Why are you buying a house with him? Without him? Like, first, like, I mean, what is going on? Like, you know, not everybody wants to get married, and that's fine, but like, it's your boyfriend, you're buying a house. I feel like there's a lack of, like, what do you call it? Unity, I guess, in the couple. If, like, this is my house that I'm buying for me and my children and maybe you, and then your daughter is an afterthought. I don't think like you're being mean by doing this, but it feels like it's not a unit here. Like, I don't understand how it works, but I don't understand why this man is not helping with the bills, because it's hard for me to see, like, unless like you have a disability or something that excuses it. Like, I feel like, oh yeah, even if you want a job in your specific area of knowledge, if you can't, then you work at McDonald's. Like, you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do and pay your bills no matter what it is. And if you have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old and you're not helping with the bills, and now she's gonna put her money down for her whole house and you're not helping in any way, I don't know that you really have a right to complain about if there's a room for your daughter that comes twice a year. Like, I don't think that's how that works. My day was pretty good, Gohan. We're doing some AITs today. Hello, Blue. How you doing? Don't give her a room, but maybe get a sofa that can convert to a bed for her and guests. Yeah, like, even if it's a guest room or something that is not dedicated to her, I think that can work. But, like, I don't think you should buy a house based on if you have access to this or that or not. I don't think that should be the deciding factor here, especially if he's not, like, providing for his daughter, you know? Nadia, so this is a little mean, but if he wanted to get her room, at least put some money down and converse with OP to get a possibly bigger house to fit all of their children. Exactly. Like, if he was part of the process, because now she's shopping for a house with her budget, her salary alone. So I don't know that she can afford to spare money for his daughter that they only see 2 times a year, that barely sleeps there. Like, you're not gonna, like, condemn a whole room for this. You can have a guest room in the house if you can afford a house that big. But also, have we seen the house market? Like, you can tell me that you will prioritize having a guest room before you can just have at least a room for, like, all of your children. to sleep in, because I'm guessing you would need at least like 3 rooms, one for the 2 babies, one for the 17-year-old, and one for you and your boyfriend. That's already a lot in this economy, so I don't know that you could like save up for an extra guest room in that situation, you know? Also, this doesn't sound like a woman with her boyfriend. This sounds like a woman with extra son. You know what? That's very accurate. That's how it feels like. It's just someone that she needs to house. And that sounds off. Like, we don't have any more detail, but I'm not convinced that this is a healthy situation. I'm not here to judge the relationship per se. I'm here to judge other things, but like, I don't know. I personally would not be willing to live like this. This is not the type of life that I'm choosing for myself, okay? Sick but still alive. You know what? We take it alive blues. That's always better than not. So, you know, we take it. But yeah, absolutely not. I don't think you are. I think you can try and accommodate, but I don't think you should define your life around that possible visit from his daughter. And I really don't understand why this man is not contributing in any way, shape, or form. Like, what is that part about? Is very confusing to me. I don't know. Let's see. Curious about that. AITA for not following my husband's family tradition when naming my child. I, 28 female, and my husband, 29 male, got married 3 years ago, and about 6-7 months ago, he got me pregnant. Okay, see, I'm struggling with that kind of language. It feels so accusatory, so like, he did this to me. And I've never seen having children like that. I thought it was more like, we got pregnant. We were expecting a child. Like, I feel like it would sound a lot more happy said like that. The way she said it sounds like she's already mad. So maybe I'm tripping, but we'll see. And while we were at his sister's graduation, we were discussing baby names for our child I'm having. Yes, you are the one carrying the child and you're having the, like, you guys together are having the child. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And thought of Lydia Rosa Eleanor after his sister Rosa and his grandmother Eleanor, okay? His mother, 54, overheard our convo and said, "Oh, sweet Noelle, Helen will be so sweet, my little angel would." And Noelle after her niece and Helen after her. Then we heard her say that to his uncle, and he said it was a very gorgeous name, and she will grow up to be an embracing, courageous nurse. Why are we deciding the baby's career? What are we doing? Because that is their family assumptions and expectations, but in reality, I prefer to just go with what she wants and how she wants to live. You don't say that you prefer the baby to choose her life. Like, what do you mean? Like, what is... what? What is this? I'm so confused. My brain hurts. Mine hurts too. Like, what are we doing? Anyways, then I said that it's not happening and we are naming her Lydia Rosa Eleanor. Then his mother screamed that she is naming her and that she is the person naming her because it is his family's tradition and past. The mother will name the child after the mother-in-law. What do you mean? Like, what? Like, what are we talking about? The out of context, the name Noelle is cute. It's very cute, but for me, this means Christmas. I don't know about naming my child Christmas, but I'm like, what? What culture? But I look at get back. And like, what culture makes it so that the mother-in-law chooses? I mean, I guess it exists. But you can't expect someone that is not in the same culture to just accept that like that. Me and my husband will be choosing my children's name, thank you. The only thing other family members have to say is like, oh, let me make sure I can pronounce it right and nice. I will love this child. That is most of the input they can give on the name. That's the extent that I'm willing to take, you know? I'm with you there, Aster. Yeah, like, what do you mean? Now we're naming her after my mom. Yes, yes. And then I will not be able to pronounce it. But yeah, anyways. She then stormed out, leaving her daughter alone with only her uncle, sister-in-law, brother, and grandma. Well, it's not exactly alone if you ask me, but who knows. The writing of this whole post is interesting. Soon after, at a family reunion, I saw his mother and went to say hi, and as soon as I was going to, she soon yelled, "Oh, my little Noelle will be so cute!" After she knows me and my husband picked out the name we wanted. And later, when me and my husband were getting food, his father showed us that in a yearbook photo, her name was Dolores. And when she was 16, she ditched her name and changed it to Helen. Can someone tell me if I was wrong for this? This is such a weirdly written story overall. So you're telling me mother-in-law didn't like her name, so she had it changed? The dad randomly showed them that. Like, this whole story is a brain aneurysm, like, waiting to happen. And, like, it's like, what are we even doing here? Like, what is that? I can respect middle names being traditional, or those first kid is a junior or numbered. Yeah, like, you know, if I'm gonna have most of the names, but is the name that you don't see on the papers, that's the one that, like, maybe family can have an input in, but not the main name. Like, absolutely not. This don't seem like a culture, just a weird family tradition that started after one couple agreed to it, probably because they had no idea what, and the mother-in-law came up with a good name. Yeah, probably more like that. Junior numbers just seems so weird to me. Yeah, personally, I don't want to have a junior version of myself or my husband. I'm like, I don't know, I want them to be their own person. Like, I don't know that I don't want to have to scream the name in the house and two people answer, you know? That's just not for me, personally. Yeah, no, I lost IQ reading this. You know, that was interesting, to say the least. And clearly you're not the a-hole, but you're also very weird. I'm sorry, but the way you're telling me that your husband got you pregnant and that the child that you're having is very weird. I don't know what that is about. Oh, hello Thaddeus, how you doing? We're all here being weirded out by this story. It was really weird. I'm against Junior. Like, I mean, I'm not against it, but I'm not for it. I don't really care for it. I just feel like it's not an original name. And I wouldn't want it personally. I don't mind people that have the name and stuff, but it's not for me. I wanna take the time to choose a name. Mana Junior, your career will be a VTuber with a focus on yapping. I know you're only one, but you have no input on this. Yes, my child shall be a VTuber and he's gonna love it. And he's gonna break through and become the biggest star ever. He's gonna be, yeah, he is gonna be the next Iron Mouse. That's my son's future right there. What a weird story this is. Like, what was that? Let's see. I don't want too young. 14's a bit too young. Okay. Let's see. Curious about therapy and relationship problems. I feel my brain cells committing suicide one by one. Yeah, no, that last one was really here to like, you know, put us through a trial, trying to understand what we were reading. It was a trip, to say the least. I can't speak. Anyways, let me drink. All right. AITA for asking my husband to tell his personal therapist about our marriage problems and counseling. My husband, 42, and I, 36, are in a marriage counseling following the birth of our first child. Dang, like, you're lucky you were able to have a child that's healthy. Good job. We aren't close to divorce, but we're pretty unhappy at times, and we fight way more than we used to. Well, I've heard that children do that to couples. I feel like it's quite common. Hopefully, that's not my case. We're both in individual therapy, also with different therapists from our marriage counselor. Postpartum depression for me and generalized anxiety and depression for him. He refuses to tell his therapist about our marriage problems and counseling. What's the point of going to a counselor? That's what's up. You tell them what's troubling you and they help you. I think it might be hard for his therapist to help him if he won't share that we are going through a hard time. Yeah, like if the therapist doesn't know what you're going through, what kind of advice can he give you? What kind of tips and tricks can he give you? I am hopeful that it would give her insight that will help him individually and also help in our relationship. Usually when I bring this up, he says I'm being controlling and raises his voice. He says I am ruining therapy. No, you're running away because you're scared of what the therapist is gonna tell you. That's what's going on. So basically, she's telling him you need to tell your therapist everything so you can get help because our couple is suffering. And he's like, nah, you're controlling and you're ruining therapy for me. Ree. Oh, hello, Solid. How you doing? They're seeing their own therapist on top of having a marriage counselors? I believe so. But like, I'm not sure. Wait, we are both in individual therapy also with different therapists from our marriage counselor. Yeah. So they each have a therapist and they also have a marriage counselor. But I feel like a marriage counselor is different than a therapist. So your issues that you have will be treated differently depending on which professional you're seeing. Convinced so I'm on his side. I wonder, I'm not sure. Like, she isn't the a-hole, but he isn't either. They just seem like stress and well, that they're depression, anxiety. Yeah, they both be going through it and they don't know how to deal. Because she also has her postpartum going on, he has his depression going on, and there's a child that they still need to raise in the middle of it, you know? If he doesn't want to talk about it with his own therapist and wants to keep the marriage problems to the couples therapy, it's fine. I think it's fine, and I think it could help to do it though. I do agree with her that the therapist is here for different reasons than a marriage counselor here is, but I wonder, I guess we would need to know more about how it goes when they do marriage counseling. I wonder what type, do they talk about everything already? Because yeah, if he does talk about all his problems and with the marriage counselor, then I think it's fine. But in the same way, I feel like it's so hard in a couples therapy session to say everything we want to say, which is one of the issues. Sometimes you may don't want to talk about some stuff in front of your partner because you want to have advice before you know how to express something to the other person. And in marriage counseling, since you're stuck with the other person, you may keep some stuff that you will never say that you would be able to say to the other person. So I don't think it's the end of the world that he doesn't want to talk, but I think it would help too, I guess is how I'm saying it. Like, I want more info for this story. I agree, but I just think if I'm putting myself in her shoes and understanding the story, if I was in the situation and let's say I could tell that he's not telling me everything that he wants to say in our marriage counseling because I'm there. Because I know that I'm like that. I guess that's why I say it that way. I know that I would struggle a lot in like couples therapy if I was having like big issues, because I would be like, oh, I want to say this, but I don't know how. And I would need advice from my therapist to tell me, okay, well, you don't like, I was thinking about telling him this way. And a therapist might give me tips and tricks to be like, oh, well, if you say it like that, it may sound like that. Try to tell it like this and like that. And then it helps me bring it to the marriage counseling session. Like, you know, I can be better at expressing myself. I guess that's why I can see what she means. I don't think anybody is the a-hole in here. I just think there's really just bad communication on all fronts, and it's just caused by all their problems and being new parents and being probably sleep deprived on top of all their mental issues. So it's just a big pot of things that are difficult right now, and I kind of feel bad for them. Like, I'm like, that sounds like a rough situation. You're tired, you're depressed, you're all of these things. Rough times ahead for sure, you know? All right. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this one alone for now. That sounds like a dumb story. I'm curious about that one. Like, if I would guess, I would assume he thinks his psychological problems are separate from his marriage problems, which I would really doubt. Like, I mean, who knows? I'm not him, I'm not his therapist, But I feel like your anxiety and depression probably have some kind of effect on your family and your relationship, whether you realize it or not, because it affects you, so it affects everything that is related to you. So, but I can understand that he may not see it that way. It might be difficult for him to see it that way, and maybe by continuing to talk and doing other types of therapy and like everything, it will be better over time. I don't know. Who knows? Would I be the asshole if I don't do anything for my husband for V-Day? That's some point is coming up this Friday. I, 30 female, have been married to my husband, 33 male, for 9 months and together 5 years. Over the past several years, he has heavily struggled with mental health issues. It's impacted his ability to keep a job, and I've been as supportive as I can. Okay. The last several months, things have been a lot harder financially. There was a point where I was having some very dark thoughts because of how bad things were. I was supporting us, but barely. We talked and I explained that I needed him to get a job and keep it. It took another 2 months for him to get one and work more than 2 days. He is currently on week 3 at his new job. Okay, you know what? We take improvement. It is hard for everybody, but everybody putting their chip in. They're all trying, so that's already a good start. I'm thrilled about the development, but my trust was broken and it's taking a while to heal. Understandable. On top of that, there were several holidays, special occasions where I had to explain that just because he couldn't spend money on me doesn't mean he couldn't do something. Facts. Draw something, find a cool rock on the ground, write a letter, anything to show he cared and thought about me. It took longer than it should have, but he did finally get it through his skull. You know what? I agree. Like, I feel like a lot of guys feel like they can't do anything for a girlfriend if they don't have money. I don't know if it's the internet that makes it so, like, but I've seen it a lot, like, around me, where guys are like, well, I don't have money to like take you on a fancy date or to buy you flowers and stuff. But a lot of girls don't need that. Sure, there are the girls that need the fancy, like, 5-star hotel dinner or whatever, but a lot of us just need you to, like, show you care. And it can be a handwritten letter, or it can be like an origami flower. Like, there's a lot of things you can do for a girl to just feel like, sorry, you care. And a lot of us do that, but I feel like a lot of guys will think that their value is in what they can offer a woman, and it's not necessarily the case. Sure, there are women that do, but there's a lot of normal women that don't need all of that. I mean, I just did something with my mom for V-Day since it's known as Singles Awareness Day for us. Aww. Well, you might be single, but you're happy with your mom, and that's what matters. Why people share these stories? That's an excellent question. I don't know. They be asking. Sometimes they ask for validation. Sometimes they really do wonder if they are the a-hole. Where was I? Part of my tax refund came in, and I was going to use it for us to go to a dinner at a fancy place we really like, and maybe something small for him. I haven't been feeling super loving, but I have the resources after paying bills, and I kind of want to. Okay. I was already feeling conflicted, so I called my brother. After talking to him for a while, he suggested I put the money towards a tattoo I've been really wanting from my favorite artist. It would just be enough to get the tattoo from them, but would leave nothing left over. Okay, like, so you call your brother because you want to spend on your husband, and your brother tells you, go get yourself something you like. I don't know how this conversation happens. How do we get to this conclusion? Like, I don't understand what you mean. Good afternoon, beautiful. Oh, there. Good afternoon, Trevor. Thank you. Hope you're doing well today. I don't understand how we got from I want to do something nice because I'm proud of him, it's going well, to I'm just gonna spend on a tattoo that I want. Okay. So would I be the a-hole if I choose doing that instead of something with my husband, which would leave money left over? Yeah. I just feel such a lack of desire to put time and energy towards Valentine's Day, especially when I'm not the one in the relationship who cares about it. And I'm aware enough to admit that the desire to do nothing at all is born out of a desire for petty revenge, which wouldn't serve anything. We've had We have had several discussions about all of these situations. This is just my dilemma about Valentine's Day. Thank you for everyone who replied. I've read all your comments and I appreciate them. For some added content, we both struggle with mental health. I've got a plethora of diagnosed mental health issues, and I take meds and do weekly therapy to manage. I didn't get mad about the job part of things until he had been in treatment for a few months. Said he was doing well, generally looked and acted like he was doing better, and still not getting or keeping a job. My tax refund after I preemptively paid bills isn't large. I think about 200. It's not money that can currently be saved easily, and I got excited at the idea of being able to do something with it, especially because it's going to disappear quickly, whether for bills, a date, or a tattoo. You're right that if I did nothing, I'd be the asshole. I'll be doing something, and I appreciate the honest feedback. Well, we got how people feel anyways, but you know. Oh, hello, Tony. How you doing? Welcome in. Britta does not like her husband. Yeah, there's no love from the husband if that's the situation. I don't understand why that's what you mean. I don't get it. But yeah, I feel like what I was gonna say is, if you know that the base for this is revenge because he didn't do something you wanted him to do, well, I think that's where it becomes not a good natured situation. And it can also be something in between, like maybe you don't need to take him on a fancy dinner, just as you were saying. You can, like, you know, write a letter. Maybe you can spend $20 on some snacks and watch a movie at home with some candles, and it will not be that expensive. You'll have some leftover, and then you can just slowly save up for your tattoo and be happy. Who knows, maybe even like have something to give you. Maybe even he would gift you the tattoo if he's able to give you, to like keep his job and whatnot. I feel like that's a situation where you really need to support each other. The brother sounds evil. Brother doesn't like him, and I'm just like, what did he ever do to him? I don't know. Or maybe he knows more than we do. But if your husband is finally making an effort for the job situation that has been stressing you out, both of you, and you feel proud of him and you want to, you know, pamper him, I don't think you need to spend the whole 200, but doing a little something, giving him a cupcake could work. Like even if you, I guess, solution, just do something free and get your tattoo anyways. You just don't need to like do absolutely nothing. Like for me, I'm thinking like this month I'm a bit tight on money. Like there's not much I can do. What are we doing? We're baking a cake at home. We discussed it. We're like, okay, we're just gonna stay home, make a cake, and watch a movie, even though it's gonna kill his soul. It's fine. That's what we want to do because we're on the same page and we understand that bills need to be paid. That's just what's up, you know? Like, it's hard to judge this one. Maybe she's the a-hole slightly, but this fully depends on how her husband mental health struggles shows. Like, is it spouse with deep depressive struggles? And I think even if it is, it's your husband and you choose to love him and you chose to, like, you know, help him grow and like work through things. She says that she's in therapy, he's in therapy, they're doing their best with what they've got. But I don't think it would be healthy to punish him for it. Especially if you know that he's putting efforts in, that, like, you know, it's been 3 weeks, he's really doing it, like he's trying to keep this job because he has seen how much it has destroyed you when you were so stressed for money earlier. I don't know that now punishing him by not doing anything about it would be the move, you know? I don't know that I would think you're an a-hole if you do it, but it would just not be a nice thing to do, is how I would see it, you know? So yeah, I just from what I see, she's gonna do something, and as I said, she could do something free. Make a box cake. Costs you $5. You can use the rest of the money for the tattoo. You can there are other options. It's not a situation where it's like all or nothing. I feel like there's space for this to work properly for everybody. Yeah, the punishment seems really harsh. Just do something cheap or free and save for the tattoo. Yeah. I feel like that's probably the best balanced solution here. Sorry. Let's see. Oh, that sounds like this speaks to me as a weeb and a long. No, lock post. Why is it locked? I guess it was not good, but it was like, Am I the asshole for wanting my husband to quit his mobile game? I was like, can I relate to him? Can I agree with him? And is she the a-hole? But it's already deleted. Let's see. Ba, 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 da, ba, da, ba, ba. Do, 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 do. Oh, I wonder about that one. To be honest, a handmade card would mean a lot more to me than an extravagant dinner. Agreed. And I feel like a lot of people are like that, me included. Like, I feel, sure, it's nice to get that one thing that you want, but knowing that someone took the time to sit down and make you a little card that costs nothing but their time, which is very precious, means a lot. I do like going to fancy places, even though I don't like to touch grass that much, so it needs to be in small quantities, you know? But let's say after, like, the other day I got home and it was like really snowy. It was a storm. It was disgustingly, like, you know, wet snow and everything. And I got home and Aster greeted me with some hot cocoa, and that made me happy. And that, you know, that's very thoughtful, that's very sweet, that's very nice. Take off my coat, put my bag down, and give me some hot cocoa as soon as I get home. This means a lot more than if I got home to like a diamond necklace. Like, yeah, I like jewelry, but it's not the same. Like, for me, my love language is quality time. So to me, it means that you listen to me, you know what I care about, you know what I like, and stuff like that. So I need that. I need to know that you listen to me. Like, I don't need to know that I don't need to repeat things to you 50,000 times for you to remember. And then I feel loved. That's how I work. That's just how I work. So I don't need the fancy dinner. Just give me a card. I'll be happy, especially if I know exactly what situation we're in financially, and I know that I would not be happy if you spend $500 when I know we're like struggling out here. Like, oh yeah, we went to a restaurant for $500, but we can't pay our bills next month. Not worth. We do not need that. I'd rather we make, like, you know, smart decisions out here until we hit the jackpot and win the lottery. Then yeah, you can spoil me all you want. It's fine, you know. AITA for telling my friend her ex, is it healthy to talk to? No, you're not. I'm not gonna say much information about any of us, but recently she's been going off and on with her ex, and we're gonna call her K. And she talks about him all the time. We're gonna call her ex J. And Jay absolutely doesn't care, and he shows her that he doesn't care. He purposefully talks to another woman and just boasts about her to Kay while flirting with Kay and then just ignoring her. Toxicity! I see toxicity in this chat. Like, what do you mean? Of course you shouldn't be talking to that. Like, I mean, you shouldn't be talking to an ex as much as possible because you both need to heal anyways, and to heal you need to be apart. But if he's gonna flirt with you while flirting with other women to make you jealous, it's the most unhealthy thing you could ever do. Like, what you mean? I have told her that she just misses the memories that they had together and not what they have now. He constantly leads her on, and Kay is just in so much denial and says stupid-ish like, he'll love me eventually, like some psycho. I assure you she's not. But like, you can become quite dumb when you're like enamored with someone. And I wouldn't even call that love. This is like slight obsession, and it's just unhealthy. And it makes you make really bad decisions because you're getting desperate out here. But whenever she starts to get over him and stop talking to him, Jace just starts flirting with her and talking to her constantly so that Kay stays hung up on him. I've seen their messages because Kay has shown me, and it just looks like he's playing her and leading her on. Me and Kay decided to match usernames as a platonic friendship thing, and Jay got jealous almost instantly and said that it was weird, even though he did the same thing with the woman he was talking to. And Kay had to get rid of the username, and so did I, just because he was uncomfortable and thought it was weird. Why would you let an ex control anything you do in your life? It is a freaking username. So he's not even your boyfriend, but you're gonna let him be controlling about what you do. Girl, open your eyes. Open your eyes to the reality. This is not a thing. This is not a situation. Run. He shames her for being British. Why are you shaming her for being British? British is nice. It's a Kohaku. We love Kohaku. And criticizes almost everything she does. He even talks ish about her being on her period just because she gets it. So because she's human? Because she's human, like we gotta be judged. I'm putting extra doubt for this story, honestly. He rarely ever talks to her, and even when she doesn't want to talk to him, he basically spams her until she does. She has him blocked. She has blocked him before and unblocked, and it's just a constant cycle. I told her she was mentally attached and trauma bonded with him, and she got pissed off with me for that and cursed me out for it. She won't take my advice, and I don't know. No, you're not. From how the story is written, I will assume these are teenagers. And I will assume that this is youthful stupidity. And that this makes no sense. Because if you're telling me that a grown woman is with a man that will make fun of her for being on her period, I mean, that ain't a whole grown man. Like, it's not even a man, like even a young man. Like, no, like everybody knows that if you're a human, female, there's a lot of chances that this happens to you, and that is very normal, and there's nothing to be laughing about. Like, I don't even get it. Like, I'm trying to like see an angle for this, but I'm just not. I have only one ex I still talk with. The only reason is that we did it when we were young and realized quickly it didn't work out and didn't want to mess up our childhood friendship. Yeah, that's different. Like, it's not like you were with someone for like 5-6 years, like deep, and then it was a toxic relationship and then you broke up and stuff, and then you keep talking. I feel like that's a different situation. If you start dating and then you're like, yeah, I'm really not into you like that, and you're like, I'd bet, and then you decide to just resume, I think that's fine. I feel like every situation is different, but this is not one where that would work. OP is a a-hole. At most, maybe OP told their friend that their ex was bad in a very harsh way. Yeah, but sometimes people need to hear it like it is. Like, sometimes you cannot just put the gloves on and like try and cuddle them through it, because they won't listen to you. Not that she listens to you if you're being harsh either. Like, when people are set in their ways, there's two things. There's the one that are full-on delusional and really believe like he loves me, it's fine, he's gonna go back to me. And there's the ones that actually are very aware of what's going on and they don't care. They're like, yeah, I know it's not healthy, I know it's not good, I know there's a chance that he will not come back to me, but I don't care because I want it so bad that I'm just gonna do it anyways. There's just this type of people. It can be any of these two, and there's nothing you can do as a side character. You're just watching it all burn and you cry. There's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is try to be there for the person you care about, but can't make them do anything. Like we can't control human like that. Yeah, I know, but maybe that's why the friends were screaming at them. Yeah, probably. It's either that, maybe they were being harsh, or maybe it's just, it hurts so much that they're not willing to hear it, so it can be a reaction to that as well. Can be any, to be honest. So yeah, it's rough. Like, I don't know, I haven't had a lot of people around me, like friends and whatnot, that going through relationships like that. I don't know, it was never something in my circle. I've never had a lot of friends and stuff that were in relationships and came to cry to me about it or something. That's not something that I know too much. But sometimes you just don't know what to do. You don't know what to tell them. You don't know how to help them get through it. It's just really hard to figure out. Yeah, relationships are really not easy. Like, I don't even know what I would do if I was a friend right now. Because I would probably try and tell them that I'm not there to, like, make you make bad decisions. I'm not there to judge you. I'm just here and I'm expressing concern for you, because what I'm seeing right now is not healthy, and I would love you to get away from the situation, you know? Hello, Aeon. Hello, Al. How you doing? I see that it is now tea day. I mean, is it? Maybe it's becoming. I don't know. I love to yap on Tuesdays, indeed. How are you two doing? We're out here looking at interesting stories today. Let's see. Like, you know when the title is telling you exactly what's gonna happen? want to touch that one. You know what? We're gonna go for the popular ones because some of them new ones are like, what? Was I in the hot or best? Let me see what best has to offer. I guess it's the same. I just don't want to have the answer. But a lot of them already do. Da, 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 da. You know, titles like, am I the ALs for not saying hi to my dad's girlfriend? I mean, probably not, but I don't know. Yeah, the title gives me the answer. Unless you're like really bad at telling a story. If you're telling me AI the TA for kicking out my guests for being entitled and expecting me to chauffeur them around. Well, probably not, but like, it's like if you write it like that, I don't know that I can trust your storytelling. Like, are you really asking or do you just want validation? I'll click that one and see what's up. Also, who are you? I just discovered your channel. Hello, Tony. I am Manayu. I am a Sea Turtle VTuber, and I like to play games. I was looking for a husband, but I found him. But now I'm trying to become a housewife. So while I explore ways to do this and accomplish my goals, I play games and I yap a lot. That's what I do. So if you come here, you'll get a lot of yaps, a lot of god gamer skills, obviously, and have a great time, hopefully. That's who I am. Welcome in. Let's see. This is Mana. Yes, this is me. I'm Manayu, but people call me Mana. I think it's just easier for everyone anyways. Validation and praise attention. Yeah, I don't feel like reading these. They're kind of dumb to me. I'm like, okay, you knew what you were doing and I don't like what you were doing, so I don't want to read it type of thing. Okay. AITA for refusing to spend $150 on my mom and brother. That I don't know yet. Background context. I'm a college student living on campus working 2 different jobs. One is on campus, the other at my local hospital on weekends in food service. My family occasionally asks me to buy stuff for them, but lately I have been cracking down on it due to me spending quite a lot on them. For example, over winter break, I went home and while I was there, I helped with the bills. Bought my mom a $100 gift card to a new store that had just opened in addition to spending almost $120 on her for hibachi for her birthday. I offered to pay for it since it was her birthday. They both work and have jobs, so it's not like they can't afford things even after rent. Okay, well that's normal. Paying for people's birthday in your family is very normal, so that's all right. So recently I just signed a lease on my first apartment and saving up so I have a buffer window for at least 2 months of rent. It's $400 a month, but I split utilities, electric, and cable with my roommates. My mother last week asked if I could spend $100 on her to buy her something she wanted. I honestly forget what it was. I said no. My brother the other day, Saturday I believe, asked me for $50 to pay his permit fee. I thought they both work. Again, I said no, as I couldn't keep spending money on him. Earlier today, after having paid all my bills and putting almost enough in my savings account for first month's rent, my lease starts in June, I had bought a game on sale. It was $26.99, not all that expensive. My brother throws a huge fit about how I can't afford to spend $50 on him, but I can buy a game. Is it your money? Is it your money? Like, why are you looking at what I do with my money anyways? How is that your business, sir? Sir. We argue, so I walk away and call my mom for a completely unrelated reason. Our conversation is amicable until my brother jumps in from the background on her end, saying I'm full of ish. This causes an argument between me and my mother as she tells me the same thing my brother said. I point out how much I spent on her over winter break, and she ends up then accuses me of making her out to be the bad guy and throwing her gifts in her face over text. While I don't think it was a good idea to be like, look at what I spent on you, I don't think it's ever a good thing to do after you buy gifts for someone to tell them like, well, I did that for you. That's not what you give a gift for. So I don't think it's a good idea to do that. But it's also very reasonable in this situation. Like, do you not realize that I have to move into my own apartment, so my bills are becoming bigger? And once again, if we follow the story, mom and brother work. Pay for your own stuff, guys. Like, I'm sorry, I don't understand why you would not. Thank you for the Subsonic Swahog. Welcome to Turtle Society. Welcome. Or twist stories like those with relationship stories in a stream like last week. Oh yeah, no, that story was I'm still traumatized, that poor man. I pointed out the same thing she told me when I first started working in retail at 16. If she wants something, she can save up for it. I told my brother the same thing, and that if I waited to get my permit, I'd have to pay the $50 fee myself. I can keep giving them money, but I have to know. AID the asshole here, thanks. No, you're not. You're obviously not. But I actually think it's a good idea to put boundaries now, because if they feel that they can always come to you for money for whatever odd reason, especially like, you know, it is my pure pleasure to spoil my parents. I love it. Anytime I can afford to give my parents something, like send them somewhere, pay a bill for them, pay like for an appliance that I know my mom has been wanting, but she doesn't know where to get it or how, or I see something broken in their house, it's always my pleasure to buy it for them. And like, you know, if I can spoil them in any way, shape, or form, I will always do it. But there's never been a moment in my life where my parent expected anything from me. They never put it on me to buy anything or pay bills for them and stuff like that. Even if they would ask to like borrow from me, maybe. They might do it like my mom has before, which is not a problem. She's like, can you lend me this amount and I'll give it back to you? And usually she will give it back to me with interest that I don't ask for, but she will. But my parents would never expect that type of thing out of me, because they know I'm their child and they know I have less experience and I've probably made less money in my life that they have so far. So they know I'm still growing. They know I'm still figuring out my life out. So I don't understand why, if I'm a working mother, I would expect my child to give me $100 for something that I want, which we don't know what it is, but I doubt it was something that was a need. Sounds more like a want to be. And like, brother, if you're working, you're paying for the fees for your stuff. Like, I don't understand why you're coming to me for it anyways, you know? Let's see, there's some chat that was hidden. Some of these are just, why do you even ask? You're an a-hole. And the other stories are, yes, you're an a-hole, but you thought we were gonna take your side. Yeah, there's also these type of stories and you're like, yeah, nah, fam, you're weird. Like, that was very weird of you, and I don't know why you thought anybody would actually take your side. It's just not happening, you know? Anyways, yeah, I would say I'm proud of you for putting down your boundaries. You need to have them. If people are not sensible enough to not ask you constantly, especially like, it just means that they're really not considerate to me. Like, they can't understand, oh, he's moving into an apartment. Or they're not asking, oh, how much is rent? Do you have enough money to pay your bills? Like, are you okay? Instead of that, it's like, oh, lend me money for whatever I need. That to me is a red flag, and I don't know that these people will ever really care for your well-being, and it annoys me for this person. I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know. It's not looking good. All right. Let's see how we feel about that. The title is intriguing to me. AITA for telling my ill dad to stop asking me to visit him in the hospital. That sounds very harsh, and I would tend to say that you might be, but we gotta read. We gotta see what's up. I am in my mid-30s. My parents are really old. My dad is almost 90. My mom is in his 70s. My dad was in his mid-50s when my parents had me. Jeez. Since I was 6 years old, my dad has had major procedures in the hospital. At first it was once every 2-3 years, and within the last 15 years it's been once a year. In the last 2 years it's been every few months. Well, that sounds like a sick dad, and that sucks. My mom got married later in life. Later in life, she lived her life to help her parents. I feel like because she missed out, she put unrealistic expectations on me. She pressured me even before I even ever met my current husband to find someone and have kids. I had kids, and shortly after my youngest was born, she let me know she wouldn't be able to help me. I accepted such with her age, but it was insane to me even yet still she would ask me to have more. Well, I mean, I don't understand why your mom has such an impact on you having kids or not. Like, she may ask you to have more kids, but it is you and your husband's decision, so I'm not too sure why. Like, I feel like I would decide to have kids knowing how many kids I can have and how many I can handle personally, not based on if I'm gonna get help from my mom or not. Even though, like, it takes a village and everything, but if I know I can handle 2 kids, I'm having 2 kids, no more than that type of thing. No, I can't take sad stories. Well, hopefully it won't be too sad. Let's see. Please have kids. Oh, you have one. Get pregnant again. Like, I mean, how is that your business? It's just not, Mom, I love you. I know you're happy to be a grandparent, but that's the extent of it, okay? My dad has been in the hospital twice now this year for complications from congestive heart failure. My eldest is 3 and my youngest is 16 months. I am able to see my dad for a short while in the hospital. They call me every day to ask if I'm going to see them. Every day? I mean, how long is he staying in the hospital? My mom sent me a text today in the middle of my work meeting saying, "Your dad is asking for you." Well, I mean, is he dying? Honestly, I'm sorry, but like, is he on his deathbed right now? Like, is he about to go? I have questions. I've been so exhausted just from raising kids. I can't imagine dealing with issues with my husband. Work, cleaning a house, potty training, etc. I saw the text and called her and said, "Why did you send the text?" She said, "I'm just letting you know your dad is asking for you." I responded, "Has anything changed? Is anything happening?" She said, "Nothing changed since yesterday when I last saw them." Is this practical or normal? I'm extremely overwhelmed, and this is just added stress coming up as manipulation to me. My father just called me in the middle of writing this and asked me why I'm not at a hospital, and I responded in the middle of playing with my kids. If you wanted me to be by your side all this time, why did you all expect grandkids from me? Did you think my job was just to give birth to them and abandon them once you needed me? I feel horrible I said this. My mom made a comment I can find a babysitter and that she always sees advertisements for babysitters. Girl, you know you gotta pay for this? I told her that I can't afford daycare and babysitter every day to come see you. Then my kids will see me less than 4 hours a day. Okay, wait a second out here. There's a lot. I do 100% believe she's wrong for saying what she said. I don't think that's something you want to say to your parents. I have questions about... I wonder what the parents' attitude is exactly like. Because I feel like my parents would not expect that from me. They wouldn't call me if they were in a situation, but I know that they would be crying in their hearts. They wouldn't try and make me feel guilty for it, but I know that it would destroy them inside if I didn't seem to care and like go see them. I don't think it's normal to expect your child to be there to take care of you every single day when you know they work and they have kids and they have a whole family to take care of. Even though some people will find a way to make sure that they see their parents, like some people will make sure that they take care of their parents at home if they can 24/7 and stuff like that. We're all different. We all have different tolerance. All have different skills that help us manage this type of situation. But to expect your child to be there every single day is not a thing. And I understand, like, you expect your child to be there every single day and leaving their kids behind. This is not a thing. It's just not. But I don't think she should have said what she said. I think that was too harsh and it's not nice to say to your parents. It's just not it. I hate to add on to this part, but my dad has literally had everything. Heart surgery, intestinal surgery, cancer, a stroke, etc. His health is declining rapidly, but he will be in hospital for weeks. Not only can I not afford childcare to cover for me for weeks, I don't want to. I want to spend time with my kids, especially knowing that he's always in the hospital, and my kids are too young, in my opinion, to not have me set an amount of hours a day. My mom told me I'm the a-hole for that and I should respect a dying man's wishes, but he's been having a dying man's wishes for 15 years now. AITA for my asking my parents to stop asking me when I'm going to visit. This is a bit hard, but as annoying as it may sound, you like sure there can be exceptions, but you have a lot less time left with your parents than you do with your children. I know that it's important for young children to be with their mom, and I think there should be a discussion to find a middle ground with how much you see your parents and how much you see your kids. But every day that passes by, the closer you get to not being with your parents. As depressing as the thought is, the older you get with your kids, the less time they have with you. And it's the same for you and when you think about your parents. So if your parents are like, your dad is almost 90 years old, as far as humans go, and considering that he's not a healthy human, I would probably try to make the effort, because I would not want to have regrets. Because from the sounds of it, this man doesn't have that much left. I feel like as much as it sucks, I would try and like, make it work. I wouldn't be able to see him every day, that's for sure. But I would try my best to get as much time with him. Unless you don't have a good relationship with him, that's a different situation, but it doesn't seem to be the case. And like, I understand that she's saying like, oh, he's been having a dying man's wish for 15 years. Sure, but now we're closing into the reality that he's about to die. Like, I mean, OP is an a-hole, I guess, but I'd say she is naive saying he will be in the hospital for weeks. Going by my own experience, my grandpa could walk on Sunday, bedridden the next day, gone on Friday. Exactly. I'm like, I don't think dad has that much time left. Like, I don't think she can just push back the time. If you don't make the time for him now, I think it's gonna be too late. You're not gonna have as much time as you think with your dad. Karma's the bee, she'll realize that when her kids don't make time for her. Yeah, I feel like that may happen. Like if you get sick later and your kids don't come see you in the hospital, maybe you will understand what your dad is saying. Are they being a bit too much by our standards, like texting her during our work meetings and expecting her to be there every day? Probably. But I feel like as our parents become older, we have to have a lot more patience and a lot more love for them, because the way they see life, like, they're retired. They don't have the stress. Like, they already went through all that stress when you were a kid, taking care of you and everything. They went through it all already. So now their comprehension, the way they work, the way they think is so different. We have to take it upon ourselves to be more patient with them and explain it to them. Even if they like get mad and they like blah, 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 and they're just, being mad at stuff, you need to remember that they're your parents and you love them, apparently, I hope, and you don't have that much time left. You want to give them your best, you want to leave them with the best memories, and you want to have the best memories. Because she says that, what if he passes away tomorrow and she's like, oh, I didn't get to see him one last time? She's gonna regret that for the rest of her life, and I would hope that this is not what happens to her. His health declined so rapidly that last week I couldn't see him. It's just heartbreaking, because while bedridden he was still acting like normal. Then Thursday he was unresponsive, Friday gone. So yeah, you just never know, especially with older people. Like, it can happen with young people, but older people, they can go just like that. So if my parents were in that situation, you can bet I would do everything in my power to be with them as much as possible, get like a good feel of them as much as I can before it's too late. I'm making myself depressed, but like, I love them so much, and like I would be exhausted. Like, even if I had the 2 young kids and stuff, I'd have to figure out a way to make time. And I feel like we're not in COVID times. Can't you take the grandkids to spend a little bit time with grandpa a little bit? I don't know. Hello Albino, how you doing? I'm doing good. We're getting depressed over this story. I wonder what people are saying on that one, to be honest. Not NTA, I get they want you to be there, but as you said, it's been 15 years, and if his condition hasn't changed, then it's a bit much to offer no help with childcare, but expect you to leave your job and your kids. Yeah, I don't agree. Like, why isn't a FaceTime enough? That would be a good idea. FaceTime, Skype, Zoom. Yeah, like I feel like when I was talking about finding a middle ground, like I feel that's where you do it. This dad seems to be in that situation. My mom's during that week was just a shell. Yeah. Freaking in-laws, leave with in-laws. Wait, what? What are we talking about in-laws? I'm confused. Leave with in-laws. I'm sorry, I don't get it. Can you elaborate on that? I'm confused. Oh god. I mean, she's having issues with her husband, so I don't know that I don't know. I mean, some people I know don't trust their in-laws, so like I know people that wouldn't live their kids with their other grandma. So like, you know, like it's not a thing. You don't trust them. You don't trust them. Some grandmas are creepy out here. Okay, so like you never know. Yeah, that's what Aster was saying, leaving the kids with the in-laws. But like, if you don't have a good relationship with your in-laws, who knows? We don't have these details, but some people be creepy. You never know. Like, you know, if there's one creepy grandpa on the other side, you don't want to live your little girls with it. Like, I don't know. You never know. You may have no proof, but you have that gut feeling and that mom feeling that tells you not to leave your child with that person. You never know. But like, that's why in my case, I was thinking like, I would definitely leave my kids with my siblings because we are a big family. But from the sounds of it, since her parents had her so late, well, I don't think she has siblings. That would have helped a lot. Like you can live your, like all the kids can go, because I know some people that their what do you call it? Their mom was really sick in the hospital and she had like 8 kids, so like they would take time to go, but also at some point nobody was going to see her. She was just depressed. She's like, I have 8 kids and I took care of all of them and stuff, and now I'm sick and nobody's coming to see me. And it was not even a situation where like she was a bad mom or something, but they were just like, we're busy, we don't have time. And she recently passed away and she was depressed. She's like, I don't want to see them anymore. Like none of them ever come and see me. So it's like, I don't know. But yeah, I think the best thing would be if you really cannot make time, which I don't think is the problem. Like I don't think she can make as much time as they want her to. I think it's more about finding a middle ground where, like, you know, you don't need to go see him every day, but can you go see him 3 times a week? Like I'm sure that can be something discussed, you know? Yeah, true. But also with such old parents, don't you want your dad to see his youngest grandchild maybe for the first and last time due to how often he is in the hospital? Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, we're not in COVID times. Bring the kids. Even just spend like an hour at the hospital just to talk. Have grandpa read stories to the kids so like they have these memories, just so they know that like they have a few pictures with grandpa. I don't know. Anything. I wish I didn't really have grandparents. I had one grandma and I lost her when I was like 16, and then that was it for me. I don't have like grandparents memories. I wish I did. I wish I had access to this. So if my mom was like, nah, I can't, when I know that grandpa's probably gonna be gone soon, even though like I guess maybe she's in denial that he's been sick for so long that there's no way he's dying now, but as she said, it's progressively getting worse. Every year he gets to stay in the hospital a little bit longer. He's had cancer, he's had heart failure, he has everything. This man doesn't have that long if we're being logical about this, you know? Her oldest one is also 3. They might even remember their grandpa. Exactly. Or at least have some pictures and you can be like, oh, I have one picture with my grandpa. And we don't know the whole story, but for me, it sounds like there's a need for that. I don't know, that's how I see it out here. Anyways, interesting story. Sorry, I have, you know, when you have a bubble of air in your throat and you're like, oh god dang. Alright. I don't want the answer. Oh, interesting title. AITA for not making my partner's coffee. I am curious because I do make Asu's coffee sometimes. I've been living with my partner for a few years now and we routinely have coffee. Oh! I was drinking. I've been living with my partner for a few years now, and we routinely have coffee every morning. Sometimes one of us will have early work and will get up and make it for themselves. The mornings we get up together, one of us makes both coffees if we have the time. Fair enough. There have been many mornings where I bring in the coffee and vice versa, but I have to note that they are very picky when it comes to food, and if it's not made a certain way, it will have to be redone to their specs, and coffee is no exception. Alright. This morning was a rather early start for both of us. After waking up, I rolled over to ask if they would like some coffee, to which they replied, "It's okay, baby, I'll make my own." I took that as they might want to have a latte or something different today that I have failed to make previously. So after getting up and making my own coffee, I come back to bed and notice they're smiling at me. After taking a sip, I get an, "Oh, so you made yourself one and not me?" What? At this moment, it feels like I was set up to fail, so I tell them that I literally asked them if they wanted coffee and got a no. We both get upset at each other and end up storming off. So please, what? What do you mean? You asked? You said no. What did they want? What do you mean? What is the story? What are we doing here? And why are you even asking? Like, what are we doing here? We both got upset at the other and end up storming off. So please tell me, I'm like trying to see if I missed something here. Hi, both are they draw huts? I don't know. Because I was like listening for the setup of the story to see exactly what happened, and then the story ended, and I'm just like, if I ask you if you want a coffee and you tell me no, I see absolutely no reason why you expect me to make you one. I don't understand. This is just like the meme of a guy asking his girlfriend, "You want fries?" She says no, then steals yours. So no. Oh, Oopie is an a-hole. Yeah, no, like, what are you on about? It's not even about stealing his. It's just like, it's just, you didn't want one and you're peculiar about it. Like, what do you mean? Why are they getting mad over coffee? I guess it's like morning grumpiness because he didn't have the coffee. Maybe it made it worse, but this is such a stupid argument. I don't know. I was expecting it to be about something like, I can't make it because the way he wanted is too specific. I thought this is where we were going with the story, and then it was just like, nah, I said no, but you should have made me one anyways. Okay? That's, I don't even know. I don't think that we need to go too far. That was, you know, Nandi Aesol, you asked if you wanted one. They said they'll make their own. Then complain what you did exactly what they told you to do. They were looking for a fight. Tell them to go back to mommy to grow up and can come back. Yeah, that was my entire point. A brief talk afterwards revealed that I should have known that when they told me no, I'll make it myself. They were trying to be nice and not make me get up. But it wasn't nice after all, because when I came back, I was scolded. Apparently, I should have went ahead and made theirs while I made... No, sir, this is not what's up. And as this person's saying here, they can be clear and say, "Don't get up on my account, but if you're making some for yourself, I love a cup." That would be, yeah, that easy. That easy. There was no reason for any of that. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You're arguing over stuff so stupid. Like, I guess if I was the girl, I would have gotten tilted though. I would have been like, "What the hell you mean? You told me no, so why are you scolding me about it now? Like, this makes absolutely no sense, and it's very annoying. Like, what are we doing?" I would have had questions. So yeah, no, that guy is just weird. It's just weird, and like, I'm not vibing with the situation. I asked him, "You better never do that to me. I'll have a fit." Like, no. Let's see. No answers. No. I don't want answers. Stop like judging people before I get to it. No. Random ads. I love that I have random ads in French sometimes. Like, oh yeah, Quebec stuff. Well, the answer is a-hole, so I do wanna read it. That's manipulation. Making your partner feel guilty on purpose is something narcissistic people do. Probably because this is just so stupid. I don't have any patience for this type of stupidity. For this, I'm just like, okay, you're just being dumb, and I'm not about that life at all, you know. All right. My daughter, 14, has been planning a hangout for a month or so now. This hangout was right after her last exam on Friday, and it included all her friends. The entire month she has not been able to go out as she has been studying for these exams. I am immensely proud of her, and she came back extremely happy, so I'm sure her hard work has paid off. Good start. When my daughter told me about this hangout, I immediately agreed, telling her I'd give her the money for the same. Okay. This, however, was not necessary as her friend had her birthday only a day later and said friend's parents had agreed to pay for the escape room they'd be doing and dinner. Good. A bit before the final exam, I learned that my sister and her family were flying over on Friday, right at the time my daughter would be taking her test. They had booked a weekend getaway at a nearby resort and had everything planned for us to leave right as my daughter came back home. Okay? My daughter loves her aunt and cousin. I told my daughter about this and asked her which she would prefer. She was also, as expected, very excited. However, she quickly told me that she wouldn't be able to tell her friends since they had all been looking forward to this hangout together, and she would feel very bad doing so. Very reasonable child. Understanding this, I decided to text the birthday girl's mother, telling her the situation. It was not until... wait, what? Why are you texting the mom? That has nothing to do with the mom? It was not until we were already on our road trip that I got a call from her asking me where my daughter was. When it became clear to me that she had not read the text, I reiterated that what I wrote in the text earlier, apologizing to her for any problem caused. Wait. Wait. So the daughter meant that she didn't want to tell her friends that, or that she didn't want to cancel? Is that a misunderstanding situation here? The girl's mother got very upset at this and told me she had already booked the escape room for a specific number of people and that she had paid per person. I immediately told her that I would be happy to give her back the money and apologize for the issue. She then started yelling at me, saying that it was not about the money and that she had perfectly planned it today so all her friends could attend. Okay? I was informed then that the only reason they were hosting it a day early was because it would ensure all her friends would come, as if they had done it on the girl's actual birthday. Some kids would not be allowed to go due to an apparent no hangout 2 days in a row rule. Which I still can't say is a very weird rule, especially at 14. Though surprisingly, at least 2 of the girls in that friend group would have been held back for such a reason. I tried apologizing, but said that there was nothing I could do as we were already on the road. She screamed at me a little before hanging up. I have tried giving her back the money spent on my daughter, but she refuses to take it. All the parents involved in this that I could speak to about it are split. Some say that a getaway that pricey could not be forgone and it was only a hangout, whereas others say that their kids were very disappointed at my daughter being absent and she had promised them she'd be there. Okay, well, wait a second. Now I'm confused. If the daughter agreed, I don't see how the parent is the a-hole in the situation. If the daughter said that she would rather go see her aunt and cousin, yeah, it sucks for the other, but it's not on the parent that took their child somewhere. I'm trying to understand. I decided to text the girl. So she didn't read the text and then she was upset she wasn't there? It's using getting mad as a parent and not feeling sorry. Yeah, for the last story, yes, for sure. But I'm trying to understand here. Am I missing something? The whole thing is odd. At 14, she has to study for a whole month with no social breaks. She then has plans that you make her break, or even encourage or allow her to break to go on some surprise family trip. She would rather do that than hang with her friends that she hasn't spent time with in a month. You were rude breaking the appointment for your daughter and agreeing to this trip. What? OP is the a-hole, but maybe the daughter could have told her friends that they couldn't come. Yeah, that's what if anybody's the bad quote-unquote person here, it might be the daughter for not being able to just tell her friends she's not gonna go because she has something else to do. Yeah, I don't understand why the daughter couldn't go to the hangout. Then they could join her entitled be of a sister for her surprise. What? Would a few hours really matter? And why did the sister plan something expensive without asking if they would be able to go first? OP talks about how it costs a lot. Irrelevant because no one asked her to. Maybe OP needs to set some boundaries with sister. What? The a-hole is the friend's mom. Honestly, that's how it feels to me. And I'm confused because apparently the judgment is that this person is an a-hole. But like, what do you mean? I got lost, but probably the daughter was in the wrong. That's how I feel because the daughter should have been able to tell her friends that she's like, I'm sorry, because the parent here has asked the daughter what she wanted to do. So if I believe that if the daughter said that she wanted to go to the hangout, she would have been able to. She just said, I don't know how to tell them that I won't make it to the hangout. So I'm like very confused as to how the Reddit came to the conclusion that the parent is the a-hole here. I'm very, very confused. Like, what do you mean? This just seems like a child having plans and the parents show a surprise big vacation. Like, the comments are just wrong. Yeah, people not saying what they want is so tiresome. It is. And I'm just like, I don't understand why they're saying like, sure, the aunt planned a surprise thingy, but that's the whole point of a surprise. Yeah, like you can't expect everybody will be free. But at the same time, I don't think the sister was gonna have a whole fit because they didn't make it. It's more on them to be like, oh, we're sorry we can't make it, but like we already had plans. And I have a feeling the aunt would have been okay and just, she was on a trip anyways, so what would it change? I'm just confused why the Reddit came to the conclusion that she was the a-hole. I'm very, very confused by this. Like, I'm like, am I tripping? I don't understand. The parent did nothing wrong. She didn't force the daughter to go on the trip. She asked the daughter and the daughter chose to go. So what is it about? If it makes you feel better, I'm confused too. Yeah, no, that's a very weird one. I don't understand the conclusion here. I have questions, but all right, I guess. I really don't agree with the people. Like, I don't get it. And go say YOP is a so I'm very confused about that one. I don't see it. I don't see any reason why. Anyways, let's see. Is there any other that's interesting? Interesting. I love wedding drama. AITA for not coming with my friend to shop wedding dresses. My friend is 8 years old, got engaged recently, and is getting married this summer, and I was asked to be the maid of honor together with her other friend. She started looking for dresses a few weeks ago and had appointments to try dresses on. Friday with her mom, Saturday with the other maid of honor, there's 2 maid of honors, and on Sunday with me. I unfortunately got sick and wasn't able to make it on Sunday, so she brought the other maid of honor again instead. She found some dresses, but wasn't really sure, so she booked another appointment in another store on the next Sunday and asked me to come with her, which I wanted and agreed to. Okay, so far so good. Sounds very normal. But when I woke up that morning, I started to get a UTI, which really hurt, and I got antibiotics from an online doctor right away. So I canceled with her. She didn't take it that well and said she felt very disappointed and heard that I canceled so late and thought I should have come anyway. She didn't want to go alone. Yeah, I can agree that wedding dress shopping on your own doesn't sound like a great time, but like your friend's sick. I've been sick on and off for a few weeks, which she knows. I wrote her a long text explaining that I really wanted to come, but I wasn't able to because of my UTI, and that it breaks my heart that she feels like I don't care, and that I apologize if I made her feel that. She never really responded to that and has been really quiet since this, only responding short to my questions. AITH for prioritizing my health over her wedding dress shopping. That is a dumb question. I can understand the nuance of the question of the situation, but I hate this type of post that just wants validation because you know especially if that's your ending question, that you're not the a-hole for this. It's just a very, very unfortunate situation, and you just need to try and, like, you know, I don't know, communicate better. You need to talk to her and just explain to her, like, oh, like, I know you feel that way, and I'm sorry, like, that was not my intention, and it really, really sucks. Like, I really wanted to make it. How can I make it up to you? Like, I understand that, like, it must be a really bad situation, because I can't imagine if I planned to go buy my wedding dress and nobody could make it, and I had to walk in there on my own trying dresses. Like, you know, like, for a lot of women, like, the trying the dresses and saying yes to the dress is a big event. Like, it's a big thing in your life. So going on your own is not exactly the vibe. You need at least one other person to tell you if you look good or not. Maybe you're tripping and you look disgusting in this dress. Like, there was one dress I tried that was just a tragedy, and that we could all see and laugh together about. Well, what if I couldn't see it and I chose that one? Like, nah, absolutely not. Like, not the a-hole, and I would assume the friend is stressed, which is why she lashed out. If I give the friend the benefit of the doubt, yes, a bride is gonna be stressed out. Does it mean that you need to be a bridezilla and be annoying and be the worst? Absolutely not. But it's normal to be stressed out, and I think you just need to extend some grace to your friend and be understanding. Try to put yourself in her shoes. Even though she may understand that you're sick, it still sucks. It's just a really sucky situation. So you need to want to have some patience and, like, you know, try your best to make her feel better and make her understand that you really do care. Even if you couldn't be there for the appointment, what can you do to help her feel better? It doesn't make you the a-hole because you missed an appointment because you were sick. Like, let's be real, that's a stupid question, you know? Another narcissistic one that may be a symptom, not a single symptom, manipulation. Well, that's the thing. I'm not sure that that's the case. I do believe that it's just a very unfortunate situation, and it could have ended better. But, like, I think it's still a work in progress, and, like, if they really do care about each other, they'll be able to talk it out and figure it out, and she can make it up to her in one way or another. I think this is where it's going. I just hate that way of asking the question, because you know exactly what you want people to say, you know. Also, the friend could have sent pics of herself in the dress to her friend to ask her opinion that way if Opie is sick. Yeah, but I mean, it depends. Like, I agree. But if she was supposed to be one-on-one with her, it's even harder. Like, how do you take a picture? Like, you have to, like, become buddy-buddy with the store people so that they take pictures for you? Because I would be, if there's, like, two of you and she's home, the other one can take the phone and you can FaceTime, which also is hard because from my experience, we were not allowed to take pictures. You were not allowed to take pictures or videos of the dress if you were not buying it. So I don't even know if it's possible in all the stores. For me, any store that I went when I was shopping, they would not allow us to take pictures of the dresses. So, you know. Or they could have done a video call if the store would allow it. Exactly. That, again, especially for wedding dresses, they don't let you video. I guess, like, the ones we see online is usually they have to ask for content and exposure and whatnot. Maybe they let them, but usually the wedding dress stores would not let you take pictures or videos of the dresses unless you bought it. I get what you're saying, but yeah, I would try to analyze if this is a usual behavior or not. Exactly. Like, I would think that she knows her friend better than we do, so, like, maybe she can tell that this is not her usual self, this is not how she usually reacts, and she's probably stressed out. Like, planning a wedding is a lot of stress, so maybe that's all that's weighing on it. Because from what she's saying and the way she's, like, being really cold in text, is she about to tell you, like, well, never mind, you don't need to meet my maid of honor? Like, this is sounding like this is where it's going, but is it a really well thought out decision is what I wonder. Yeah, but when the other maid of honor were there with her, I guess, but yeah, it depends on the store. Yeah. Like, I feel like a lot of stores, even when we were looking for, like, dresses for, like, my mom or for, like, my sisters for that were my maid of honors and stuff, we were not allowed to take pictures, even for not wedding dresses. So it makes it harder in that sense. I feel like if you go to any other normal mainstream store for dresses, sure. If you go to a bridal store, you may not be allowed to do all that, you know. Water. All right. I love this one. I guess I love the judgment when they're the a-hole to see if people are right or not. So I want to see what's gonna happen with this one. All right. AITA for calling my wife out on giving joint birthday presents without me there. I wonder, like, I'm trying to see how would I feel. I guess if it's decided together first, no. Like, I feel like if I was gonna give my mother-in-law a gift and for some reason I couldn't be there, I'd be like, just send her a happy birthday from me. Joint means like together, like it's a gift from like me and my husband to someone else. Like, so it's something that we bought together for someone. Anyways, let's see. Son's birthday today. He's 5 years old. I wasn't there this morning. I stay away from home some nights due to work. English, my God, I can't read. Even if I had slept at home, I would have left for work before the kids would. We have a party planned on Saturday and we'll be there at dinner time tonight. I realized that my wife gave my son a present this morning. She said it was from us. Apparently she does this every year. You didn't know that? I was hurt and told her so. I thought it was selfish that she couldn't wait to share his excitement. I'm lost at the apparently. Like, does she or does she not? Like, I'm like, what do you mean? Does she give your kid a gift every morning of his birthday without you there and then you just learned of it this morning? Her excuse is that it is unfair on him to make him wait. I find that ridiculous and believe he absolutely could wait. Yeah, he probably could. I said the only reason to give it early is the selfishness of wanting to experience his joy alone without sharing it. I don't know about this conclusion, man. Like, what do you mean? No worries, no worries. Like, this is already weird. This blew up quicker than I expected. I couldn't get online for the last hour. And overwhelmingly with "you're the a-hole" respond, many with some unfair assumptions, so I want to add some context in my defense, although I think it won't change the general outcome. Honestly, so far, I don't necessarily think he is the a-hole. I feel like the wife could wait for him to be there. Like, I feel like my parents have done it, and unless you make it a habit for him to get it specifically on his birthday in the morning, which you would have chosen to do, there is no reason for it to be like, oh, when dad gets home, you're gonna get our gift that we got you. I don't see why it would be that big of a deal if I was the wife to make the 5-year-old wait. Or maybe you can give him a gift that is just from you if you really want it. Or you can start by giving him a fancy snacks, or I don't know, something in the morning. I don't know that you would absolutely need to give him the joint gift first thing in the morning when you know it's a day your husband is not there. I don't know. I don't see him as the a-hole right now. There was miscommunication and things could have been said a whole lot earlier. A whole lot earlier and a lot better. Like, as you said, this communication, I don't understand. Like, I think it was not right of him to tell her that the way he did. Because I don't think it's that. I don't know. I guess she's just excited to give it to the child. And I don't know that it means that it's the selfishness of wanting to experience his joy alone without sharing his joy. I don't think it's that deep. But I don't think she's right either, to be honest. So, first point, today is his birthday, although we have other special plans. Next week, I'm taking 3 days off, 2 of which are a family trip, and the third is a special day for my son. I couldn't get off today, though, and Saturday is his proper party, which I obviously will be there. I have a 1 hour and a half commute each way, hence why I don't normally see him in the morning before he gets up for school, but I normally read the bedtime stories when I'm home, and I video call every evening that I'm not home. I'm not an absentee father, I'm not just a sperm donor. Okay, fair. 2, my wife has bought most of the presents, but not all of them. We tend to put things in gift bags, not wrap them. Last year it was me that bought the main present. This year there wasn't a main present. It was mostly a few smaller ones because the family trips mentions are really his main present. I don't expect her to do all the gift shopping and give all the ideas. I do share a share of it. She does have more free time than me and does more of childcare than me. That's a problem of our share life choices and not something that we can easily change. My long commute is primarily due to the decision on her part. All right. 3. Yes, she said she does this every year, but first and second birthday are not quite the same level of conscious response. And third and fourth, I'm not sure what she gave him in the morning. As I mentioned last year, I got the main present and that was given in the evening. I'm definitely jealous if she's giving him presents. Jealous of what? I definitely want to be part of the enjoyment of his birthday. Okay, well, I feel like the red flags here is like how much they're making the child's birthday about themselves. Like, I don't like that. Like, it's your child's birthday. I don't know that it needs to be about I wanted to give the gift. Your child got a gift for his birthday. That's what I see as the main priority. Sure, it can suck if you miss out on giving gifts. Second, I do believe that it sucks because if last year the joint main birthday gift was able to be given in the evening, that means that the child could have waited. So I don't know, unless she always gives him the smaller gifts that she gets for him in the morning, then I mean, if it's already a thing that she does, I just don't understand how you would not know about it. I'm just confused about so many details in here. Like what do you mean? I think no one is the AHI, but I completely get where he's coming from. I do too. Like, maybe the wife could give a gift to the son in the morning just from her, like a smaller one, then the big one in the evening. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. The kid could have waited. Hell, it's better as a kid when you have to wait because excitement builds up. But she should have at least asked if she could give the present without OP there, especially if it's a gift from both of your parents. Yeah, I just feel like it was not that big of a deal to wait. Like, I don't see any reason not to. And like, I understand his disappointment not being able to give a gift that is, especially a joint gift. Like, she could give him a ball that she got at the dollar store just to get him excited for the rest of the day and tell him, oh, when daddy gets home, ooh, it's gonna get excited, we're gonna get something else, you know, add some excitement to the situation. I'm not sure why she couldn't wait. Like, it's just a mystery to me. I was hurt and didn't understand why he had to receive the present when I wasn't there. Yep, he's 5 years old and every family is different. I don't remember receiving present until the whole family was there in the evening. I thought that was normal and assumed my wife had the same thoughts. We hadn't discussed it. Again, communication. This is the type of thing you communicate. Not everybody grew up the same way, and maybe this is just very normal for her, and maybe she got different gifts at different times in her day. And I was upset for missing out. I think if I knew, then I wouldn't have reacted that way. But it was a shock and I was upset. I'm still jealous and have some feelings to work through. I don't like my work situation and commute, but I really don't see a way to resolve it without significant financial risk that I'm not willing to take in this climate. So we'll have to suck up my disappointment. I call my wife selfish for getting the joy alone without discussing it first, or without giving me the chance to join on a video call. True, that would have been such an easy way to get this done. Just call dad so you can see the child's reaction to the gift. I guess I need to take the, I don't know that I agree with that. Like, I don't agree. I don't think he's an a-hole. I understand, like, I don't know why I feel, as sucky as it is, I feel like if it was the other way around and it was a dad doing that to the mom, they would call him so selfish and say like, oh, he's trying to like take the praise. I feel like it would be seen differently, and I don't think that's okay. Like, he wants to be part of his child's life. He wants to be part of the enjoyment and the happy moments and the memories of his child, and a simple video call would have done it. So I don't see why people would see him as a a-hole. I actually don't agree at all. Like, I don't know. Because then if it's a joint present, the kid would interpret it as a gift from mainly one parent, not both. Yeah, even if you tell him, the feeling is different, especially when they're 5. Like, they're still so young that they will not compute the information the same, and it would have been better if everybody could have been involved. I don't understand why it could not be. It would have been so easy to fix. And also, as they said, it's communication. If she told him, yeah, tomorrow morning I'm gonna give him that, he would have been like, wait a second, I want to be there. Can we fix something? First, can you wait? If you can't wait, can we do a video call? I feel like there would have been a discussion for a solution here, but none was given, and I don't agree. I feel like I feel for this man. I feel bad for him. Like, it's not okay in my mind. Well, if it were my first kid, I'll get mad too. Those memories wouldn't be mine, only hers. Yeah, you will never know what, like the little sparkles in your baby's eyes is something that you would not want to miss as a parent. I'm not a parent, and I know that I'm excited for my children's eyes to sparkle when they get excited about stuff and be like, oh my gosh, the first time they see a rainbow, the first time they see this. Or I know that if I know like my kid is super into like bicycles and stuff, and I give them their first bicycles, I want to see that sparkle. And I don't know that it makes you like a bad parent or a selfish parent for wanting to be there. Like I think it's very normal to be wanting to experience everything with your first child, especially. I don't think he's the a-hole. I don't know. I kind of get wanting to see your kids' reaction to gifts and being part of the celebration. I probably get FOMO too. Yeah, like it's something that happens once. There are only 5 once. Like it will never happen again. Hello, Lenny, by the way. Like, I'm so mixed over this one since this was just common for me, since one of my parents usually worked very early mornings and weren't there, and the other gave me a small gift in the morning. Yeah, and like I don't think it really like will mess with the child or anything. It's just that it sucks for the parent. It sucks for the parent to not get to experience that with his child, and I'm not. It sucks. It just really sucks. That's how I feel about it. But yeah, no one is the age here. They're only people who are incapable of communicating. Yes, like you should have just talked about it, about how you want to do things. As we always say, if you talk about it, there will be less issues. Just be like, oh, I want to do things like that, and I want to do things like that. But I feel like there are other issues because the way that he's saying that it's not his choice to do the job that he's doing, and she has so much more time, sounds like not the healthiest situation. If you ask me, if I'm gonna read into this, it sounds like she wants to stay home so she gets to spend more time with the kids, but then he has to do this specific job for them to be able to live at a certain level, but that makes him be away from home so much that he misses out on his children growing up. And I think he's probably building some level of resentment with that. Like something is building inside of him, and I don't think that he likes it either. All right, my nose is like getting clogged just by existing, and I don't know what to do. Sorry, I'm gonna get some water. Now, what would really be effed up is if the kid was 10. Yeah, that would be a lot different. Giving a present by yourself with the disguise as a joy present is really messed up at such a big milestone in the kid's life. It would really suck. And I feel like it depends, as you said, depending on how old the kid is, what type of memory he will have from this, it can mess with the parent. I think mostly the parent. I think as a child you may not actually realize what's going on. Honestly, if I had to guess, Aster, can you send stuff in one message? Now I'm just left here, hanging out, waiting for what you gotta say. But yeah, I don't think he's a a-hole. I think he's just a man living his emotions, living through some resentment for his wife, because apparently he's doing all this commute because of her, and because of her he wasn't there that morning to be there to give a gift to his son. Wife did it because she doesn't like him not being around for the job, and she wants to project that onto the one child. But that's her, and you know it. You mean it. Yeah, I'm a meanie. But yeah, but that's the thing. From what he's saying, he's doing this job because of her. My long commute is primarily due to decisions on her part. So it's not his choice. It's not something that he wants to do, and he said he would probably quit if he could, but he cannot afford to do it. So it sucks even more if she's mad about something that she got him to do, you know? Yeah, because getting older, the kid and father probably won't be so close because he's not there even at those dates, because the present was given by the mother, and he's only the one who pays. Yeah, and it sucks. It really sounds like this whole life situation, there are some cracks in there, and like they really need to take some time to talk it out. I don't know if this situation will be something that opens up the conversation, but there needs to be something going on, because there are more issues than just the birthday gift here, in my opinion. That's what he thinks, but she's almost certainly resentful about it. She sounds like a bitter person. Yeah, and we don't know much. We don't know more about her, but it doesn't sound healthy. Communication is key indeed. I don't need to ask my wife if it's okay if I finish off the last bag of chip, but it's nice to do and mitigate conflict. Yeah. Like most of the time, like if Esther is like, "Oh, can I finish this?" I'll be like, "Yeah." But I'll be sad if I think something is left in the fridge and I go look for it. Yes, I'm looking at you after eating all my salsa. I'll be sad if you didn't tell me that you were gonna eat it all, okay? I need to know. I need to be mentally ready for stuff like that. It just helps your life be better. You did buy me more salsa after. But yes, hashtag salsa, free the salsa. I'm still very hurt about that event. One day my sister brought salsa. I was excited to eat it. I went to take a nap the next day, and then when I woke up, he told me very proudly that he ate all the salsa, and I was like, but I wanted some, and I was very sad. And then he bought me some. But you know, yeah, doesn't mean you need to eat the whole thing. Anyways, I think this because that almost happened with me and my father. Yeah. Well, see, that's what it is about fostering a healthy relationship for everybody in a family unit. Like you cannot like just think about your relationship with your partner. You cannot just think about your kids. There needs to be a balance, and everybody needs to be on the same page for everything to like go up early, you know? Yes, salsa. Yeah, we were dancing in the depression of my salsa being gone. Sorry. After while you're listening to me, could you bring me some tissues, please? I think I need to blow my nose. All right. Let's see. All right. I actually love reading the one where they say they're the a-hole because so far I don't agree. So now I'm like, okay, well that sounds like it's gonna be more controversial for some reason, you know? In a second, no worries. Thank you. AITA for telling my elderly mother she can't bring her kittens to live with me. I think it depends. I would probably say no to my mom because I'm allergic, but my mom is even more allergic than me, so it does not apply. But I feel like I'll have to see with this one. My mother sold her home and we bought a house together so she could help care for my infant son after my wife died. Okay, well, I'm already thinking for the mother then. Like, this whole sentence tells me everything I need to know. Like, what you mean? Oh, hello, baby. How you doing? She brought 2 dogs and 2 cats with her. They were all old and had been with her since they were kittens, puppies. It was very hectic with all those animals. I'm also fairly allergic to cats. Okay, well that sucks, but it is what it is. She's here to help you. After about 6 years of living with us, my God, my brother met a man and moved across the country to be with him. 6 months ago, she started talking about getting 2 kittens and 2 puppies. I told her I would never live with a cat again. I'm allergic. I hate litter boxes. I can't sit having a bunch of animals running around our small house. Wait, she moved across the country to live with him. So why are we talking about this? I told her to really think hard about it, and if a relationship would last because I refused to live with a cat. 3 months ago, she bought a puppy. 1.5 months ago, she bought 2 kittens. 2 weeks ago, her boyfriend broke up with her. Said her and the puppy were too stressful for him. And she said she had to leave. Now she's saying she's bringing the puppy and the kittens. I told her no cats. I'm allergic. She has had these cats for less than 2 months and she has the puppy. The boyfriend would keep the cats and take good care of them. I thought it was too much for him. My mother says she sold her house to move in with me and help me raise my son, and I'm trying to deny her what makes her happy. She says she will keep the cats in her small room. She doesn't have money for another home. No. Like, who's he?
Take your kittens, bro.
Huh?
Take the kittens.
You're allergic.
Even if first of all, if you're allergic to cats and you live with them long enough, you don't have symptoms. Second of all, she's moving in with you to help you with your kids.
You missed a part of the story. She moved out with her boyfriend.
Yeah, she moved out with her boyfriend and then they broke up.
Yeah. And she told you should not get cats because if you're gonna come back.
If his mom moves out to go live with her boyfriend,
Uh-huh.
You don't get to decide what she does or doesn't do in case the boyfriend breaks up with her.
You're not.
That's not up to you.
You're not deciding, but you're telling her, just keep in mind that if you're gonna come back here, I will not be able to take cats. Like, I don't think it's too much to say that.
I disagree.
You're
just biased.
no,
against
you're
cats.
just biased because you're obsessed with cats. Okay, let me blow
Yeah,
my
yeah,
nose
yeah.
in peace. Sorry for this interruption. You know, uh, let me catch up. Like, I hate saying this, but she's the a-hole, I guess. I don't really know when it comes to this one. See, I don't think it's that black and white because at first I was gonna be on the mom side 100% because she sold her house so she could take care of the babies with you. Amazing, we love that. But she moved out. So, and I feel like you cannot take an allergy that, like, it's just a pain to live with something that makes you allergic. And if they lived together for 6 years with the cats and it was miserable for her or him or whoever it is to live with the cats, that means that, yeah, no, the after 6 months you're not allergic to something. It may not work for everybody. And it's like, okay, well, I'm down to have you come back if you want, but I will not have cats. And like, she doesn't, like, this person doesn't like animals in general, but is ready to compromise on having the dogs, just not the cats, because of allergies. So I don't understand why it's like I would be an asshole. Like, sure, it doesn't sound great, but to me it makes sense. Like, you are in charge of your own house, it's your family unit, and you should be the master of your house. So having your mom live with you doesn't mean that she gets to decide what she wants to do and make your life miserable for this. Like, I feel like it's okay. Like, you still have the puppies. Like I feel like at least the author is trying to find a middle ground, not like get rid of all the puppies and all the things. They're like, okay, I will take the puppies, but I cannot take the cats. This is too difficult for me. And they don't even want pets to begin with. So I feel like they're trying here, but the mom is like, I want everything or nothing. And I think that's not fair. That's not how I see it. I'm allergic to dogs, but love mine. I just stay upstairs and keep tissues in every room. I hate allergies, though. If you're asking her to take care of your kid, though, it's a trade-off. But I don't think that's the case because that's 6 years later. She left. So she wouldn't be coming back to help with the child. She's coming back because she has nowhere to go because she broke up with her boyfriend. She's been gone. So she's not coming to help with your child. Sure, she would probably end up helping because a grandma is not gonna see her grandkids and not, spoil them or whatever. But she's not coming back to help. She's coming back because her boyfriend broke up with her. That's why I think there's a difference. If she was coming to help, it would be different.
Hold on.
What?
You're saying she is coming back because she doesn't have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Because she sold her house to go help him in the first place. Like.
But she's not coming back to help.
But if she had a house, she would go live in her house. She doesn't have a house because she sold it to go help him in the first
But it's
place.
been 6 years. At this point, I feel like, okay, thank you. You've been living with us. Like, I mean, it's a trade for everybody. She sold her house. But do you think she was paying the bills? No, she was there to help. She lived in my house and stuff. And I think everybody's happy with the exchange of service here. She helped the kids. I take care of you. The food is offered. The roof is offered and everything. So everybody was winning here. And the cats were living in the house. Everybody was getting something out of this exchange. So so now she doesn't have a house. Well, she could get an apartment if she really wants the cats. Like, there are other options. That's why for me, the author is trying to have a compromise by accepting the puppies and not the cats, but the mom wants it all. And that's why I think I don't agree 100%.
Though, one other thing. He says that the boyfriend would be happy to keep the kittens.
Yeah.
Right, but they just broke up. I don't know if he's like, if she's gonna be okay leaving her kittens with the man she just broke up with.
Yeah,
You know
also
what I
she
mean?
could give them somewhere else if she just, like, I feel like there are options and there should be some way to have a middle ground. Also, another related question, how old is the kid? Well, I would expect that it was an infant, so the kid is like 6-year-old now. First line, though, we bought a house together. Seems like it may be partly our house too.
Right.
I guess. In that case, I feel like she should have more of a say. If that's the case, yeah.
Like, it's partly her house. She sold her house for him. I feel like,
I mean, did she sold it for like? That's why I think it was an equivalent exchange. She sold her house, but for benefits of her own. Everybody got a benefit out of this. It's not just like, oh yeah, she sacrificed everything she had, because I don't think you would make such a decision to sold your whole house to help raise a kid, because you could just be the neighbor grandma and like pick up the kids and babysit them. Like, you don't really just need to move in with your child over it. That's how I see it. So I'm choosing to not see them at the a-hole. I'm sure there's more nuance in the story, but I don't think it's everything, you know? I think people should be able to take responsibility for their decisions, and the mother should be responsible for taking those decisions, knowing the deal with her son. Yeah. Sorry if my English is broken. I swear this totally makes sense in Spanish. It's fine. I got what you're saying. See, like, we don't judge here. I barely speak English, so we're good. We're fine. But yeah, yeah. I think I might be the asshole, because I told my brother she couldn't bring her kids to live with her at her house. She said I'm an a-hole for that. I wonder what people are saying. We bought a house together. You're the asshole under current conditions. If she owns part of the house, she's entitled to live there and bring her cats. The way around this is to buy out her share, so she has no right to live there and she has money to, I guess. Yes, she is entitled to live there. She is not entitled to bring pets without the owner's consent. Pets, well, I mean, isn't she the owner? Like, I feel like that doesn't work. If she's also the owner, you can't say that she's not entitled to do whatever she wants. Pets are a 2 yes, 1 no question situation. If they were a married couple and agreed to live with his wife's childhood cat because she was old, and then after the cat died said no more cats because he is allergic and can't stand living with them anymore, and she brought a cat home, we would say not the asshole all day, every day. She does not get to force the co-owner of the home into a situation where their actual health is affected by forcing them to live with an allergy like that. He's not the asshole for putting his foot down on cats. I love my cats and they're great, but there's zero way to keep them confined to one room. Yeah, I don't know about that situation of, oh, the cat will only live in a room. I don't know about that. Her keeping them in the room is not going to last, especially with a puppy and how many times that door will be opened and closed each day. Those cats will have free range of the house and is going to spend the next several years of his life dealing with allergies that impact his daily life and health. She's being selfish. I actually do agree with that comment a bit more. It's gonna be a miserable time. He lived through it for 6 years, and then he was like, okay, well, he was never gonna kick out the other cats, but like he doesn't want new cats, and I think that's okay. That's fair. I don't think either side is a-hole. Nobody wants to live dealing with allergies every day, and nobody wants to give up their pets, even after only having them for a few months. Yeah, I understand, but like, you need to find a middle ground. That's why for me the middle ground is that he accepts the dogs but not the cats. Like, it's a 50-50. Like, you need to come together, you know? The cats will want to roam, especially if they're kittens. I personally have kittens and those MFers are everywhere. I love them though. Yeah, and if I had a pet, I would want my pet to feel free to roam the land, okay? I wouldn't want to confine them anyways anywhere, you know? If they're so adamant about their decisions, they should split the house and then both would be forced to compromise. Yeah, but I'm just trying to understand, is there a need for such a big compromise? Because imagine the atmosphere in the house if, like, what, you're gonna build a wall in the house and, like, that's your side, that's my side, you're not allowed to use this part of the house with your mom. It's such a weird situation to be in. I would hope that both people can just understand the other person's side and come to a better agreement, is what I would hope for them. Also, a cat can easily live for 15 plus years. Source, my 15-year-old cat. Yeah, imagine, like, we don't even know how old the mom is, but if she passes away and leaves the cat behind, it's just such a pain. Like, no, considering I'm allergic to cats too, like, this is not something I would be willing to do personally. Like, it's just not. Maybe blow my nose again. And drink some water. I hope I'm not getting sick. I don't have time for this. Anyways. Well, I don't agree with that previous comment. If you're not able to give your pet a healthy and safe environment, you should not have a pet. Pets are not toys. Having a pet is not about you, in my opinion. Yeah. Also, like, I could wait. I'm not sure which comment you're referring to, but yeah, like I feel like you can like if you need to be able to provide for the cat for any pet professionally. That's why I'm so scared of getting a turtle. I want a turtle, but I don't want to have a turtle until I'm 100% sure like I can take care of them properly and give them the care they need and give them the food they need. When I tell you I'm depressed about the story of that 50-year-old turtle that was mistreated for 48 years, anytime I see videos about that turtle, I want to cry. And then yesterday we were talking about having a turtle, but if we have a land turtle, we have to put it in the freezer in the winter, and it terrifies me. I'm like, what if I take it out and then first it forgot about me, or then it doesn't wake up? It terrifies me, and I don't know what to do about these feelings. I do not want to put my turtle in the fridge. It's scary. I don't want to do it, you know? That's why I don't have any cats, although I love them, because my windows are not protected, so they can run away, and that's irresponsible. So I just don't have cats. Yeah, and maybe one day you'll find yourself in a place where you can have a pet in a safe way, and then you can just happily take care of them. And I think that's the responsible thing to do. Like, you don't want to just... Because like the turtle I saw the video about, like they were feeding the turtle like some cat food and lettuce. That's what that turtle's been living on for 48 years. And it's like, well, why do you keep her? Like, why do you do this? Because I think a kid found her in a pond and took it home, and it just lived on the kitchen floor for 48 years. And then like after a few years, you don't know what to do with it. Just give it away, like to a veterinarian or like a shelter. I don't know, but no, they just left it there. And like both her back legs are not working anymore, but she's still alive. She's very cute. Her beak is all deformed, and it makes me want to cry anytime I see her. But it's like, nah. Yeah, turtles need more care than I once thought. Bats and winter things and minerals for them. Yeah, you need to make sure they have a certain amount of light, certain amount of warmth, certain amount of water. Like, you need to make sure their shell is healthy. There's a lot to do. So like for me, having a turtle is not an easy peasy decision. I just go to the shop and get it. Like, make sure the pH of the water is good. They get their vegetable. They get their nutrition. There's a lot to think about, and I do not want to be a pet owner that doesn't do my best for my pet to have the best life. Like, I want to be able to spoil my pet so that they have the best life possible, you know? I got ignored. I don't see your name in the chat. Where did it go? Like, Aster, if you scroll up, do you see your name? I don't see a chat from you. I don't know. Turtles with small skateboards are the best thing ever. They are. Aster does send me a lot of videos of them, and they make me happy. They make my heart just full of love and happiness anytime I see them. Like, it's amazing. No, there's just nothing.
Definitely did. For that. Funnily enough, that deserves to be censored. That's so funny.
Apparently, like,
wow.
I see nothing, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, YouTube.
Yes.
Bastards.
Anyways, that being said, that's the story. I think I want to read one more because my throat's getting tired, and then I'll probably end for today. But you know, I'm gonna read that one. I like neighbor stories. Some can be lifelong companion, but also therefore a lifelong responsibility. It's a big decision. Yeah, some of them will outlive you. You never know. So I need to make sure that also, like, if I have kids and we have the family turtle, that they know how to take care of her and they're willing to take care of her if I'm not there too. Like, you know, there's a lot of things to think about when you get that type of animal. Like, it's nice because this animal will probably be with you for the rest of your life, but it's not easy. I think I was so sad when there was like the LA fires. There was like a really, really old tortoise that passed away because she was hibernating, and they didn't have time to like dig her up and everything when the fires came up, and then she didn't make it. She wasn't like deep enough to be protected from the fire. And it's so sad because she was like freaking so old. Poor baby. Anyways, I'm making myself depressed. AITA for parking in front of neighbor's house. Probably. AIT for parking in front of my neighbor's house. So I live in a beach town where street parking is limited. Been here for over a year now. My driveway is shared with my landlord, and my landlord gets priority for parking. So I have to park on the street. We have 2 cars. One always parks in front of our house. The house next door to mine always has an open spot in front of it, and since there are no other available spots on our block, I've been parking there. The other day, my neighbor who lives alone and has a large driveway and only 1 car yelled at me that I was really rude. She said she could tell I'm not a native to the area and that I don't respect my neighbors. I always leave room for her to park in front of my car, and she still seemed upset that I was parking in front of her house. Along with her tone was very aggressive, and to be honest, I just stood there shocked and was apologetic and tried to explain my situation, which she was not willing to hear out. If she had approached me much more kindly, I would be willing to try to come to some sort of solution with her. It almost felt like she was belittling me because I am a younger woman. I get that parking can be a headache in this area, but there's just no other spot for me to park. People take the spot in front of my house all the time too, and it's just kind of a thing that happens where I live. So AITA for continuing to park in front of her house. I don't want to cause drama, but there's literally no other place for me to park. So yeah, no, you're not. Not easy peasy, I know. Yeah, the OP is deleting AI. Well, see how it's turned like that? It's just like that. It's just... I thought it was in front of the house, like in their parking spot, but they're not in the parking. They're just in front of the house. I park in front of my neighbor's house when I go see my parents. Like, sure, it probably sucks if they have more than 1 car, but if you have 1 car and you have a whole driveway where you park your car anyways, why are you bothered by a car sitting in front of your house for a few hours because the next day they have to go back to work? It does nothing to you. Like, just stop it. Okay, she's the a-hole, but OP's in the wrong. It's her problem and only hers to have 2 cars. Well, I mean, we don't know why. Like, my parents have 2 cars, but like they had 4 kids and they have places to be and they both worked. Like, so if you are a couple and you both work in very different ways and stuff, it can be understandable that you have 2 cars. And anyways, there's still no parking spot for her. Like, the landlord has the parking spot, so she would still have to figure something out, you know? And not the a-hole, and the old lady just seems entitled and like, huff, why is a person here? Yeah, like, why is a person in front of my house? That's how it reads to me. Like, it does nothing to you. Like, I do it all the time. Like, I just take any parking spot that is near, like, in front of my parents' house next to their driveway, and I see neighbors taking my dad's parking spot. Like, my parents have 2 cars, and 1 is in the driveway, and 1 is on the on the street. And sometimes I see the neighbor's house, a car in my dad's parking spot, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. If there's someone there, we're like, oh, that's annoying, if at most. And then we find another parking. It's mostly annoying if like it's a day they have to like pick up the snow in the street, so there's only 1 side available, and it's like then my dad just figures out a way to have both cars in the driveway. But it's just like, nah, girl is just complaining for no reason if we're being honest here. I think the reason OP has 2 cars is because 1 is their landlord's. I'm not sure. It might be because I'm in here for my driveway is shared with my landlord, so I have to park on the street. 1 always parks. No, they have 2 cars. Like the landlord has their car, and then they have 2 cars. So I'm guessing they're like a couple or something. So maybe person A has a car and the other one does, and 1 is parked in front of the house. And 1 is parked in front of the neighbor's house. But the neighbor only has 1 car and has a driveway. And the car is never in their way. So they have no reason to complain whatsoever. That's what's up, you know? Doing it every day would be kind of annoying on the random day you want to invite a friend over. But even if they didn't take the spot, it sounds like somebody else probably would anyways. Exactly. Like, if it wasn't this person, somebody else would definitely be doing it, as you said. So... is there even a real reason to complain here? I'm not sure. Yeah, we're saying, I guess it depends if it's allowed to park on the street. Yeah, like the parking is free for anybody that just comes and needs a parking. So just let them be. That's pretty much all there is to it, okay? Let me see something in 1 second. Alright. My throat is hurting a little bit, so I'm just getting ready. Let me do a splishy. I don't know why after I talk for a while, like my nose just starts getting clogged for absolutely no reason. Like I'm not sick or anything, but it just does things apparently. Anyways, this has been an amazing time. You guys are very awesome, and I'm very happy we got to yap around and have a grand old time. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for taking the time to watch clips and videos I post. I try my best, and hopefully you enjoy what I come out with in this productivity month. I am very grateful for all of you. You're pretty awesome. I will be reading Maple on the Twitch side. I'm just checking 1 second if there's anybody I know that is live on the YouTube side. Every single person is not. All the videos I see is all upcoming, and I'm like, oh, all right. Good night, Kudo. Good night, Kyra. Kyra, thank you, everybody. Thank you for having fun. I had fun. Thanks to you guys. You guys are all awesome. If you have time and you're on Twitch and you want to say hi to Maple, feel free to stay a little bit behind and say hi. I'll be back tomorrow with some games. So, you know, probably background noise for a lot of people, but that's fine. I appreciate it. Thank you, Snowy. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Kuda. Thank you, Fish, lurking in the deepness. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the next one, alright? Have a good night. Bye-bye.